I
Capture card.
No!
It's always the capture card.
Why did that have to happen right now?
And it even says drop frames detected, but it might just be like the first 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So,
Guys,
guys, if you can hear us...
At the very beginning of the stream, on my first video back, after like 2 weeks off, the capture card drops as soon as we go live. Okay. Oh, wait, I can fix this by doing that. Hello. Welcome to B-roll. We're going to get the main camera back up in just a second. I'm just going to... I can't even preview it. Yes, I can. There we go. Hi, welcome to B-roll. We are live. Everything is good and dandy. How are you guys doing?
How am I doing?
Well, them, you. Yeah.
I'm doing well. I mean, it's been like a month since we last did B-roll.
Yes.
Like, when was the last episode, roughly? Probably like the 20th of last month or something like that?
Something like that, yeah, for
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been
Okay.
pretty much like an entire month.
It has. How?
Why? We should probably let our audience know. Why has it been a month?
Yes. So it's not even just B-roll that has been absent from everybody's lives. It has been, all of my videos have been absent because I had to make a quick business trip down to Cape Town. I say quick. It took me over 2.5 weeks. So I was in Cape Town, South Africa for 2.5 weeks, taking care of a whole bunch of business stuff with my family. Non-YouTube, which like I was on unreliable Wi-Fi the entire time. I was working with my family. I was working on business stuff. Yeah. Well,
sorry, there's probably double audio for a second, guys.
No, I muted everything, so they're not hearing anything.
Cool.
So I've been gone, working on a lot of stuff, but I have a ton of content that's coming down the pipeline. It's just I had to take care of other things first. Where have you been?
Yeah. I did go away.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm asking.
Well, I didn't go away for 2.5 weeks. So, practically the same time, like when Brett left, I went to visit family in Richards Bay and buy a new car because I had like no car for all of it.
Ooh la la.
Not amazing, but
Big
anyway.
wheels.
I have wheels again. And
I've been having to like tote him around everywhere.
Please not
everywhere. I have to drive 20 minutes to go pick him up to take him to the places that he needed to go.
I usually have to like mission to drop my girlfriend off somewhere and then use her car, and then it's like extra time, and you've done it for me like twice, dude. And I've taken you around like twice too. Anyway, that's beside the point. But yeah, basically I went to go get a car, went to visit for some family, and then I was only gone for about a week, if even. Yeah. And then I just came back to Pretoria, and I've been playing Zelda for like a week and a half.
Okay, how do you find Zelda? Let's talk about that. Before we get into
do you want to start with that?
I mean,
that's not the Switch. It's a game.
Yeah, we're talking about your general impressions of Zelda because it's like one of the highest rated games of all time. Everybody's saying like right now on Metacritic it's only second to Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask, one of the two.
Probably Ocarina. That would make sense.
Whatever. It's second to one of the other Zelda games. Whatever.
How
do you?
I love the game. I won't deny that.
Okay.
It's not 10. It's
not a 10 out of 10.
It's not a 10 out of 10, but I can more than like agree that it's a great game. Yeah. It's by far the best like mobile whatever game I played in my entire life, considering the Switch is like a home
if you
console.
call it a mobile game.
I played it. Like 90% of my experience with it so far was in handheld mode, except for when I streamed it, which I obviously had a dock.
Okay, we'll talk about that
later.
Okay,
but I love the game.
Are you reviewing it on Game Arena?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
Because I don't necessarily have to.
Because I don't want to like have you tip your hand as to like what number score you would give it.
Okay, I can.
Okay.
Let me put it this way.
Do that.
I would give graphics 10 out of 10. The reason I say that is
for what it is.
For what it is,
Absolutely.
It's 10 out of 10. Gameplay, I'd give it like a 9 out of 10, not a 10 out of 10, because it doesn't have fishing, which sounds so like opposite of what I would say, because that was when I reviewed Final Fantasy 15.
You hated the fishing.
I hated the fishing. I was like, why is this in this? Oh my gosh, Asian, and I was so rude about it. I was like, Asian people always want to have fishing in their games. I'm like, that's wrong to say.
It is.
Whereas like,
it is.
I want that in Zelda, but the reason I want it is because Ocarina of Time, they did it right. And like, I spent 50% of that game fishing.
Okay.
So like, it's stupid for me to say that, but like, stories, I don't know. I think the story's there, but the problem with the story is that it's like, you've experienced it. So you've played the game 15 hours right now?
If I had, I'm over 15. I'm
yeah.
over 15 hours. If I had to give it a score right now, it would be a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
It is way too slow of a start.
Yeah.
I can't get into it.
For me, it's a 9. but it's also I'm biased to it.
Yes,
and that's half
I
the
have
reason.
never played a single Zelda game in my entire life up until Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And so I have no fond feelings. I have no emotional attachment to Link and his cohorts. Like me discovering all of this stuff, it's fresh, but it takes way too freaking long to get into any good part of the story.
But that's even half of like why I love and hate the game at the same time, because like the open world part of it, I feel they've done right.
Sure.
Where it's like you can go do whatever you want, and I didn't like. So my friend Reese, I went to go visit him on my way back from Richards Bay, and he had been playing the game as well. And like I looked at his map of the game, and he kind of just like went straight east in the map, and I went like south and then east or whatever. The gameplay experience was so different between us, which was a good thing. But I feel that like when you're trying to do specific tasks in a game and you don't really know where you're supposed to be, it kind of makes it harder. And feels like I don't really know where I'm supposed to be. Like I don't know if this is right.
It's not even just that. It's just. It's not that the game doesn't hold my hand. That's not the issue at all. Like I have no problems that I have to figure out the majority of what's going on. That's fine.
But there's quirks you don't know about though. Like you know the rusty swords.
Yes, no, I saw the Octo Rock where you throw it in.
Like I would never have thought of that.
Guess what? I haven't even seen an Octo Rock at this point.
Okay.
I haven't even found that creature in the game because it's kind of too big, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I think they did the open world idea of like everything you can interact with. You can cut the grass.
But I like that.
No, that is great. They did. I just don't feel like they direct the character well enough in terms of where to find the storyline properly.
Let me put it this way: when you're not doing the main quests, I feel Link has no character. Like what I'm trying to say is, there's a lot of like depth to him when you're following the main story. Like you get the memories back and that. And
but like
that works.
With Final Fantasy 15, the reason side quests were so fun was because you had Noctis, Prompto, Gladio, and Ignis all camaraderizing and coming out with new lines and discussing things. Like it was an actual experience with the character. With Link, it's
I think the story of it is there.
Okay.
That you could pull 10 out of 10 out of that story if you played it that way. And I think that's half of its issue right now. So it's like, my concern is that depending on how you play the game, you could have a bad experience, you could have a good experience. Because something for me that was amazing. So you know you've been struck by lightning before, I'm sure, right?
No.
So when you...
Because I get the prompt and then I just
take your armor away.
Yeah.
So
well, I don't have metal armor, I have metal swords. That's
okay, well basically...
I'm not even that far in the game.
Okay, if there's metal, you're wearing metal, and there's lightning, you get struck by the lightning.
Yeah.
And something for me that was so amazing that like, the way they just seamlessly put it in, there was no tutorial or anything like it, you could figure it out, you might not figure it out, is there was this shrine that was like undercover, right? Okay. And then it was just like something just felt wrong with it, and then I was like, how do I try to get this shrine out? So there was lightning no matter what every time I was in that area. So I ran up to it, and then I dropped my my steel sword on the ground, and it got struck by lightning that revealed the and I was just like, this is something that's so cool that they put this in that no one would have, like, no one would have thought that I did. Yeah. But like some people might not. And this is good. Yes. Because it means the replayability of this game is
You're
amazing.
always discovering new things.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the story of it...
You can't play it the same way twice. No. But then that also leads to terrible user experiences depending on who you are. Like, when I went to the Nintendo Switch demo, I had my 5-year-old son play the game.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this like beginning part, he could absolutely play Zelda. And now that I'm actually like in it 15 hours, I'm like, my son can't play Zelda. It's too complex.
It is. Because the shrines, like, there's some of the shrines that I do that I'm just like, oh, that was stupid. That was so easy. Like, I don't. And then there's other ones I'm like, I don't know how to do this. This is so complicated. Or like
some, the idea is easy. Like you had to tilt the controller to get the ball to move.
That's hard to do.
But it was actually really difficult.
Yeah. But then again, so was Mario. Mario, when you were 5, you couldn't finish a game.
Mario.
It was so hard.
I've never played
like
Mario.
Nintendo's games haven't ever necessarily been easy to conquer, if I want to put it that way. They've been easy to understand.
But
Zelda was Breath of the Wild. Ocarina of Time was hard.
Breath of the Wild is not easy to understand.
Okay. You give it a 6. I give the game like a 9. I could see people giving it a 10.
Yeah.
But my experience from it is like there's games where some things are better.
Yes.
Therefore, I can't. It's not.
Yes, I have the option of playing Zelda or Horizon Zero Dawn in bed at night. I'm playing Horizon Zero Dawn.
Whereas me, it's the other way around.
Right.
Yeah. But I am biased to it, and that's half the reason I don't want to review it is because I'm like, I
would give it an inappropriate score because
I can't be like IGN 10 out of 10. It's just like no, I don't want my company to become that.
Yeah.
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 Anyway, okay.
All right. So
Zelda,
somebody in the chat is asking how our experience on the Switch is. We will get to that in just a moment. You're getting way ahead of us. We are going to be working on that. So we have some cool articles coming up, mainly going to be focusing on basically everything we missed while we were gone. We missed everything. So I was able to get a Ryzen launch video out, like on launch day, basically.
Yeah.
But
5 p.m.
Yes, but I basically missed all of the subsequent follow through, which I was able to do on KB Lake, but I just didn't have time to do for Ryzen, which hurts me quite a bit.
Because it's a desktop platform and you were on the go.
Yeah, like I wish I could have, but I just couldn't. I would have. I'm still going to be doing Ryzen content, but we're gonna be covering a lot of the stuff that's coming out.
Well, look, the fortunate thing about Ryzen is that it's not over. Like
that's true. Yeah, there's still gradual releases,
yeah.
which actually gives me a lot of breathing room, and also one of the reasons why I wasn't too bummed about Ryzen 7 because there were so many bugs, there were so many issues, and then it's like, okay, Ryzen 5's coming out, we don't have to worry about that. I saw that, but whatever.
Sorry, one of the comments, just quickly going back to it, love it as a handheld, average as a console.
Trash as a console.
That's the thing that it's like, depending on how you played Zelda even, could be like, wow, the performance was so bad, or wow, the performance was perfect.
Yes.
And like that could influence you, right?
Okay, so let's articles?
Yeah, let's start.
All right, so first one is an article from Critical Hit. Byron, do you want to walk us through this one?
Okay, this is pretty much just like a random article I found that I just thought was quite funny. There's this device that's coming out that basically is supposed to stop, what do you call it, like privacy and that kind of thing. Well, not stop
privacy?
Encourage privacy in your phone calls.
Because you have the issue where you have your phone and you have to get up and walk away. When
but okay, so...
Oh, he had to do it again. Oh man, his life is going to be ruined.
I know this sounds retarded.
Oh, does he have to do it one more time? Don't use that phrase.
No, what I had to do, I can mock myself.
Oh, okay. Now he has...
So here's the thing, when I worked at D-Link, we weren't allowed to take any personal calls within like the area we sat.
Like the cubicle?
Not really a cubicle, but let's call it that. And like 90% of the time, whenever like someone had to take a phone call, you'd have to like walk the whole way outside.
Oh, so this would be perfect for you.
But I don't want to look like this. It's
let's see.
bad.
Does he go like Darth Vader mode now?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
So when I looked at this, I thought Bane.
Bane?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
I thought how awesome. The only reason I would ever buy a device like this...
You get a grill on that.
No, the only reason I'd ever buy this device is if it had some form of like an augmentation for your voice. Yeah. It's just so bad. Who would wear that? You literally... So it's like VR, when people first saw the DK1, people were like, I'm never going to wear this kind of thing. And this is kind of the reason I even want to show it. Because the first time DK's ones were shown, people were like, you look so dumb. Why would anyone wear that?
Right.
And now it kind of like no one cares if you wear an Oculus. So... I don't ever see that happening though.
Oh, we froze again? Oh,
are you serious?
Dang it. Yeah.
Okay, but only the way we look.
Yeah.
What's your opinion? Because I can't see anyone giving a positive opinion on the way you look with that thing.
No, that's awful. Like that is so garbage. No, because like with the Oculus and the Vive and whatever you have going on there, that's in the privacy of your own home or at a demo. The entire purpose. Whereas that...
Okay. I have something controversial to say, though. Okay. I was at E3.
Okay.
I was at E3.
Okay. Congratulations.
No. They had a sexual thing on display where you could put on an Oculus and you could watch what was going down there in public.
Right. No, that's awkward. That's awkward. But that's... You're saying this Hush Me device looks really strange.
You look stupider, though.
Because it looks so bad because you have to wear it in public. You have to.
Yeah,
that's the whole point, is that you're engaging everybody in public.
Because at home, you looking like Bane. Anyway.
Yeah, like at home, you're making a phone call and that's it.
I don't know. I think there's so many things to do with privacy that just make me laugh often because I'm like, I don't even know what's going on.
Why? Why is this happening? You keep talking. I'm going to work on the stream issues.
So something random. I don't know if you heard about sorry guys, Brett is just off screen right now. I don't know if you heard about the FBI wanting to hire new people.
No.
So the FBI is apparently in like some like messed up state at this stage where like they need new employees and they're hiring 2,000 new employees. I just thought to myself, like, if you're a company that's to do with security and like concerns with national security and like terrorism and all these like hectic topics,
this is the perfect device for you.
And it's like you want to get 2,000 new people. That must be so insane. How do you go through 2,000 people when it's like the most private thing in a government, like without issues. Do you understand what I'm trying to get at with that?
You have tight hiring restrictions?
Like, what kind of restrictions must you have?
Oh, we're back. Hopefully that's
Finally.
the end of the issues.
Anyway.
We'll see. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, hopefully that doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
Did you just restart the camera then?
I restarted everything. We'll
Good
see how
thing
it
we
goes.
had a webcam this time.
Yeah, right? All right, so moving on to the next article, Byron.
Okay.
I know a little bit about this. We can both talk about it. There is a new 24/7 esports channel coming to South Africa's own DSTV.
Yep.
This May 1st. Is this going to be like on standard packages or?
Okay, so I think that the only reason why I'm actually excited about this...
First off, we need to figure out, is this Ginks or Jinx?
Are you going to say Jinx because it's Jive?
No. Okay.
I say Ginks because generally Jinx would be with a J.
Fair enough, but it's possible.
And it's gaming. Gaming. Gaming interactive, probably
Gaming,
something. I don't even know what it stands for.
Ginks,
okay,
maybe.
That aside. Okay, so the reason I'm excited about this...
It's an important point that we need to establish.
People were like, okay, people first said this is dumb because like Twitch is free. Okay. I agree with that statement, but I don't agree with it in execution because 99% of the time I go on Twitch, I don't even know what to watch. Okay?
Fair enough.
And other than like the homepage. And not only that, if you say, like if me and you were hosting some random South African tournament today and we just put it on Twitch, there's no guarantee of 1 or 1,000 viewers. There's no guarantees at all. Whereas like guys like Metal State and that kind of thing that are running like big tournaments at this stage, if they put it on here, they have guaranteed views. They have a guaranteed like return on investment and
further sponsors.
And
yes,
the reason why people always complain about SuperSport is because it's only on their premium package, which is like 1,000 rand a month, right? This is on their
television.
Yes,
that's awesome.
This is on their compact. So this is actually like 100 rand a month. This is access to like people that are like lower income bracket, that kind of thing, who don't have access to internet, who don't have access to Twitch. So now the guys that are like, let's say, you know, they only have access to very bare bone necessities like running water and whatever and TV, they can actually watch esports and get involved with it.
Okay, cool.
I love that.
So like, would this channel show like the international or like the world championship league and all that?
So this channel is going to have more focus on the international stuff.
Okay.
I could say unfortunately, but at the same time, it's good to start with international because...
Okay, it's saying here in the early days, they want to work on local collaborations, but it's going to be...
So like they've got like their own shows, like let's say like B-roll, they've got a show once a day for an hour, that kind of thing as well. And they're going to, once international and like people get excited about it and there's enough people watching it, they're going to invest some of their money into the local scene. Because you can't just start with local. Because there is no, like, there's Metal State, there's Arena, there's DGL, and that's that. Okay, no, I lied. There's the COD things, and there's a lot of guys involved.
African Gaming,
there's African Gaming and Zombie Gamer and Super 8 and whatever. But what I'm getting at is Super 8's rugby and that. There's not enough of them.
We can't leave anybody out.
Yes.
We have to say everyone.
Okay. There's not enough of them to be able to have 24/7 content.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So
I mean, there's not even enough to have daily content at this point because Metal State's only doing Monday, Wednesdays, and Sundays.
So there's potential for it.
They could.
This has actually been done. So there's a mobile streaming platform. I can't remember the name. Where a friend of mine actually got involved with it, but he's moved to New Zealand now, so it's kind of messed up. But they had a 24/7 stream on local gaming content. Okay. But what they did is they just had like lots and lots of replays of like DGL stuff that literally
you could do that,
which is stupid.
But like that's the issue with 24-hour weather channels. You end up watching them for 10 minutes, and then that's the same thing that's going to be replayed the entire time.
Which, look, at the same time, it's a concern because this is one of the reasons people that don't have DSTV don't like it or don't want to go back to it or don't want it, is that DSTV, generally speaking, has always focused on reruns. DSTV is the kind of show that, like, although it's changed in more recent times, like Game of Thrones, we actually have live, like, 3 a.m. South African time, whatever, like, to be concurrent with America. But 90% of the time, like, the shows that are on DSTV are, like, reruns or 7 seasons back or whatever. So,
or, like, really old movies.
So I don't know, because at the same time, Ginks is not a local channel. That's the thing. So we don't know. I don't have an expectation for it.
But they could have a local, like, branch, which allow them, as you
well,
say. That allows them to distribute.
Our Cartoon Network is local. Our Cartoon Network had... I'm trying to think of the word now. There was that, like, anime robot character, you must know about this. Toonami.
Yeah.
So, like, we had we only had that, like, 1 year. Even though it's, like, a massive feature focus on Cartoon Network.
You only had Tom for 1 year?
And like, we didn't have Dragon Ball Z on Cartoon Network.
I'm sad for you.
Well, we had SABC2, but that's another story.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Okay, somebody just asked, do I find DSTV quality good? I have never. Oh my gosh, the stream just froze again.
Why?
Okay, I'm gonna work on that.
DSTV.
I've never had.
DSTV's quality is good.
I've never owned since we've been here.
The reason I say it's good is because it's changed in recent years. They've like when I was actually home, funny enough, like 2-3 weeks ago, my father just upgraded to like the new decoder or whatever they have, and a lot of the channels are, at least they look 1080p. I think it's probably 1080i, which is still good enough.
Likely, yeah.
Yeah, like 1080i, but I mean for watching series and that, considering 90% of the videos I watch at 720p anyway,
right,
which is like the same as 1080i in visual fidelity and
more or
rate
less,
and that kind of thing.
Okay, I switched USB ports, so I went from USB to USB 3.1. So
yeah,
maybe that'll be fixed. We're streaming on a new system tonight, as you can tell by my laptop not being here. So
yeah, this is not a laptop.
We're figuring this all out as we go. All right, so next article.
Jinx, Ginks, whatever.
Jinx.
Cool. Jinx. It's cool. It's coming, and I see it opening doors in terms of like not underprivileged. I mean, that's not always the right word. Let's say lower income people being able to watch.
Fair enough. Which then allows them to also realize that they could have the potential of having that career path.
Like especially now, like with things like Metal State and Do Gaming League and that kind of thing. If they get onto this channel, that's amazing.
Because having local representation, not just seeing, that guy in Europe is making millions of rand a year.
It mustn't just be Dendi and that kind of thing. Like, it must be local people. Right. And, sorry, like what me and you have discussed before, the whole reason, well, the thing that South Africa was missing was, like, let's say, local celebrities within esports or whatever.
Yeah.
That would create it. True. Because they're on TV. Hey, Mom, I'm on TV. Not I'm on some random website you don't understand.
Right. Nobody cares if you have 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. They want to know.
I was on the homepage of Twitch.
Who cares?
Exactly.
I don't know what that means. Even though my YouTube channel might be getting more views than I would on the TV,
yeah,
it still carries more weight with
But that's what I'm getting at. Like, you've been
the
on
old
TV.
folk.
Yeah. And they're the ones who invest the money anyway, so...
It's true.
Yeah. Okay, moving on.
All right, let's move on to something that is slightly unrelated to esports and everything. Let's go to...
Well, not right now. Samsung.
Whatever, I don't even... A new Samsung Galaxy S leak reveals 3 color options and pricing. The phone will ship to consumers in April. So this is going to be announced on March 29th because they already have promo ads revealing that there's a March 29th event.
That's soon.
It's very soon, but they're saying that it's going to ship to consumers on April 21st, which is like a month delay, where they usually were doing like 1 or 2 weeks, weren't they? Or was that Apple? I can't remember.
I think Apple's usually like, and it's now available on our website for pre-order.
Right.
Like, usually.
Yeah.
The thing that I kind of got from this picture that didn't really make much sense to me is how the front bezels all look the same color.
Yes. Okay. They're all black. And
it's just the like aluminum strip around the outsides that's different.
And there's no like rear picture here.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think about the bezel-less design or like the limited bezel design?
I like it because at the moment I'm using what do you call it, the Z Compact. I don't know if it's on stream or whatever.
Or Z what?
Let me just see.
I'll pull it up. There we go.
Okay, so I'm using a Z Compact at the moment, which is like
the Galaxy S7.
Yeah, which is very like bezel-less from side to side, if I want to call it that, and I like it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I think they've just done it right because this is also a one-handed device. The reason I'm saying that is when you use two-handed devices.
I mean, just because you have small hands.
No, man.
This is
the one-handed for you too.
I'm saying this is a one-handed device.
Whatever. Yeah. Okay.
The Galaxy S7 is a one-handed device.
For people with hands this size. Okay. What I'm getting at is that when you're using two hands on some phones that are like bezel-less, like the S6 Edge and S7 Edge and that kind of thing, sometimes your like palms will touch the sides.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're using this, like let's say a claw grip, if I want to call it that in terms of a phone.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It doesn't like get affected. I like it. And the curved edges to it look nice. I just don't know what they would mean for like watching YouTube videos and that kind of thing, because I don't know, sometimes there might be that little thing that you don't see, because what I'm getting is like when you're reading text it might get in the way. I don't know yet. I've not experienced it firsthand.
I wouldn't be concerned with that at
all.
It
looks pretty. It looks it's like it's aesthetically pleasing, but at the same time I need to use one to have a proper opinion on it.
Yeah. You think you'll get one? Because you're due for an upgrade just now, aren't you?
I'm due for an upgrade on like the 25th of April, so...
Perfect, so you might even be able to pick one.
I don't know, because I have the S6, which means...
So hold on, they're doing the S8 and the S8 Plus, not the S8 Edge.
I wonder if that's the Note 8.
Or like it's the Note 7 in a new body, so
But that's what I'm getting
like
at.
with a new battery, so it doesn't explode. That'd be cool.
Maybe because my contract's still S6, which means it should be the same price as S8 technically.
Okay.
But I don't know if I don't know. I like my S6. I like your S7. I might change because I've actually had a pleasant experience with Xperia at the moment.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I generally hated the old look of the Xperia phones because they had these like massive bezels at the bottom.
Right. Yeah.
And top, and it's just like I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll see.
People are asking in the chat, have we talked about Vega or Ryzen yet? No, we're still getting to that. We have news on those topics. We're still going to be covering Ryzen, 1080 Ti, Vega, everything that we kind of can on those topics.
Yeah. Guys, this episode might be a little bit longer than normal because
we've been away for so
for a
long.
month.
We miss you guys so much, and we're just so glad to be back, aren't we, Byron? That was the most pitiful answer I've seen.
It wasn't an answer.
That was sad. You don't miss these people at all.
No, I do. I'm just saying that like be back to a degree where it's like you only came back from holiday. It's like I've been for 2 weeks. It's
but
not
you
that
haven't been
different
with
for
the
me.
community.
I know, and we haven't done this for like a month.
I know. Okay.
Which-
Let's keep going.
I'm happy. I'm
okay.
happy to do this
Great.
again.
Awesome. All right. Moving on to what? That's the wrong scene. All right. PlayStation now.
Should you tell people about the Discord? We're not doing that anymore.
No, we are doing Discord. I'm still on Discord. I'm still looking
But
there.
you haven't even like
What?
done the like.
No,
this
it's
is
fine. It's fine. People know about it. There's plenty of
Okay,
people in the
okay.
Discord at this point. We're
Okay.
working on it. We'll figure this all out.
We'll
okay.
get it.
All right. PlayStation Now. You can stream PS4 games in 2017 with this. Not if you're in South Africa, but
So even though this is the topic I suggested or whatever,
Yeah.
I think I want you to speak about this because you kind of have more first-hand experience with this kind of thing right now. With your shield and that kind of thing. Like, and what you did in the holiday.
but it's
No, no,
different.
what
like
I
the,
know, but
like
but
the
like,
streaming games.
just talk about that.
It's nice. I prefer to having it instead of having it on a local medium because one of the big things with PlayStation Now is that you can play it on a Windows PC. You have to have the PlayStation account, but you don't
Which
need
is
to
fine.
do it on a PlayStation. You can do it on a PC, which means you can have some Ultrabook playing Horizon Zero Dawn. Obviously, not anytime soon because this isn't even coming out. But
Not in
that's
South
like
Africa either.
that's
for
the
now.
thing for me. Like I don't have a TV or a monitor set up in my bedroom. But what I do have is my laptop. I bring my laptop to bed, I hook it up to an Ethernet cord right next to my bed, and then I play Horizon Zero Dawn on my laptop, which means that I get to have the mobile gaming experience in my bed. Whereas like now the Nintendo Switch is providing that experience
Wherever you go.
except for the game library. That's the it doesn't the game library
Well,
doesn't
I'm gonna
exist,
actually-
but the concept of the
is it?
experience it's over here.
I'm going to open this door for you so long. Just
on the
even
floor.
to show people.
There you go.
So yes,
Well-
this is Brett's Switch. He
No, we're
actually
gonna
has
get
one
to the
too.
Switch.
I know,
We're
but
gonna
I'm
get to
gonna...
the Switch. Okay, whatever. Okay.
Okay,
So-
carry on.
Okay, so I think that's all that needs to really be. Oh, can you turn that down? That's so loud.
Probably. Okay, but
and
yeah.
don't like do it on the table because you're moving the.
What I'm getting at,
No.
what I'm getting at
What are you getting
is
at?
you didn't want to buy a PlayStation at first. Okay?
Right.
You were like, I'm a PC master race kind of guy and that kind of thing. And then eventually you got a PlayStation because of the exclusives.
Yes, absolutely.
Now it's like those exclusives might be playable maybe let's say a year after launch on PlayStation Now, but at least you can on PC. So it's like Final Fantasy 15 is not out of the question of being able to play it on PC without a PC port being needed.
Yes.
Not in South Africa because we have ping issues.
Right.
We don't have bandwidth issues at all. Like we have good connection speeds.
Yeah.
We just have ping, which
Which
you can't
they-
play a game at 200
yeah,
ms
they-
in terms of your actual screen
Right.
display. Never mind input lag and that kind of thing. So I think it's cool. I think it's a technology that I hope PlayStation invests in more because the more games that come to non-console users but console exclusives, it's just a good thing.
I agree. I think Xbox went the wrong way with this, where they put their
But anyway.
they put their Xbox exclusives on PC
Yeah.
instead of because that's going to kill the console.
I sold my Xbox One because of that.
PlayStation has PlayStation exclusives that you're not going to get on PC. You can play them on the PC, but you still need to have the PlayStation setup. Whereas Xbox, you can just have a PC. I can play Gears of War on this PC right now.
Look, I had a PlayStation 4, an Xbox One, and a PC. And PlayStation I kept because of Horizon and Final Fantasy 15 and Kingdom Hearts and that kind of thing. I was playing Gears of War on Xbox, and then I was just like, hold on a second, I've got a 1070. That is way better than what the Xbox will ever be able to output in terms of like game quality. So I played Gears of War 4 on PC, and I was just like, wow, this is huge difference in terms of like visual fidelity, and I sold my Xbox afterwards.
Yeah.
Because it's just like this, like there's no reason, and like okay, people are welcome to argue with me, but I honestly feel there's no reason to own an Xbox One if you have a good PC.
I don't see one.
If you don't have a PC, you can't afford to get PC, that's where you buy an Xbox. Fine. But like if you have anything above if you have anything recent, a 1060, a 1050 even, don't buy an Xbox One.
I don't see the
Buy games.
Yeah. Maybe Scorpio, maybe, but not right now.
We don't even know enough about that at this stage,
yeah.
other than like it's maybe a 1070 inside of it or whatever. We don't even know.
All right.
Okay, this is
Cool.
open.
Getsuga, you're a little bit late, but not too much. People are arguing. Well, it is hard for me to call you a gamer. You can play Kingdom Hearts because it looks like a cartoon, man. People like you that only want graphics are ruining the game industry.
Not at all. That's why I said. That's why I kept a PlayStation.
He's not talking about you.
Oh, he's talking about someone else.
You got defensive.
Well, that's what I was like. I don't understand. Like that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Who's he talking about then?
I don't know.
Someone else in
no,
chat.
I'm just reading the chat. All right, let's. No, that is. I'm clicking on the wrong scenes. Anyways, now getting into more like serious hardcore tech stuff. PC stuff.
Yeah.
Intel introduces the world's most responsive data center solid state drive. So this is the beginning of Intel's Optane memory, which was like promised basically when Kaby Lake came out. Every Kaby Lake board now has support for Optane memory, except for there was no Optane memory available.
And the thing that sucks right now is that the first Optane drive to like, let's say, it's not even consumer market, but available is over $1,000. Which people
actually isn't that bad.
Okay, it isn't, but what I'm getting at is some people are like, oh, I have to upgrade to Z270 because I'm going to get Optane and it's going to help me in games. No. That is not a thing. That is not what Optane was made for.
Yeah.
And like even people were like, oh, but I want to get a Z270, but I can't keep my 6700K because it doesn't have support for Optane.
What are you gonna
Nobody cares.
What are you going to use Optane for?
It's not going to be used. So the thing about
for gaming,
Optane,
I don't see it for content creation.
Yes.
Absolutely. But as far as gaming, like you're going to load into Battlefield's queue faster than the other guy. But guess what? Multiplayer games are only as fast as the slowest potato.
Yeah. Okay, so what is Optane? Optane is like, it's a new technology where it's like it combines, I could say combines, it's not exactly that, but let's say RAM technology.
It's a combination of
SSD.
high throughput, low latency, high quality of service, and high endurance that enable the creation of solutions that remove data bottlenecks.
Yeah.
So basically,
it's an SSD.
It's an SSD that has enough throughput and quality that you
and
can
latency
and low enough latency that you can use it as system memory.
Yes. Now, is it as good as standard system memory? No. And what are games using? The fastest memory available. So it's not like... So here's the thing. Going back to it quickly.
Yeah.
Does it have the price on this article? As far as I remember, the price of the...
It doesn't, but I can look it up quickly.
Okay, so like there's a 375 gig model that's like... I think it's like $1,300 or something like that.
Which isn't awful.
Which for SSD prices is awful, but for memory prices is insanely good. Because there's no chance... You're not going to get 375 gigs of DDR4 for under 20,000 Rand. Zero chance.
How many? Sorry?
375 gigs for under 20,000 Rand.
Oh, right, yeah.
So the thing that I'm thinking though...
I can't find it, but it was just over $1,000.
Yeah. The thing I'm thinking though is... Where I kind of like this technology, where there's a potential for it in the future, is what happened with SoCs in terms of like the first PlayStation 4. Okay? PlayStation 4, as far as I know, was the first time that GPU memory and system memory was one unit. Right? Okay. So imagine a closed platform like console in the future that's a 500 gig model and it's Intel Optane technology.
Okay.
So basically what would happen is you've got a 500 gig console that some system memory is reserved, but basically has access to that as GPU memory and as RAM. Imagine how insane that is, because then consoles could have up to like 100 gigs. Price is an issue.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't use that amount.
Well, somebody said in the Discord server, and they're totally right, we didn't actually say this. This is an enterprise grade drive.
Yes, it's not consumer.
You're not supposed to buy this.
It's not.
Do not go out expecting to purchase this Intel Optane drive.
You can't brag to your friends, I got 375 gigs of RAM, my Battlefield runs faster. That's not what this is made for, and those games aren't even going to use that.
No, this is for data centers. This is an entirely professional application at this point, but it will come down to consumer because they included it on the consumer chipset.
Yes, which means there's no.
I don't think. So I'm going to cross streams here.
Yeah.
With how quickly Intel is going to have to react to Ryzen, Z270 isn't going to see Optane. They're not going to see
consumer. Yeah,
they're not going to see
Z270 is going to be phased out before Ryzen 5.
Z270 is dead in the next 6 months.
Yeah, I guarantee it as well. And here's the thing though, if it's $375 for 20,000 rand, okay, if you now like take 10% of that, so now you're saying 32 gigs for 2,000 rand. You can't buy 32 gigs of RAM for 2,000 rand.
Right.
So that's what I'm getting at. Imagine you could buy like a 32 gig cache Optane drive that will increase system performance.
Right.
That's something that's cool.
Yes, if you put it into perspective as to this is my system memory. Yes, but I'm paying for this as system memory, which you're not doing that. You're not doing
you
that.
You can't replace your RAM. That's the thing.
Right. But it technically makes sense from that perspective, and it's only going to get cheaper as the technology progresses, and then it has more use cases, because enterprise solutions are always expensive.
Yeah. And look, price to performance, if I want to call it that, price to capacity or whatever, it's better than most enterprise solutions if you look at versus the consumer that's available right now.
Right.
And that's only a good thing, because it means when it comes consumer, it's going to be even cheaper than that. So
somebody just said in chat, imagine the boost in FPS. You're totally right. You're gonna get 35 FPS more, guaranteed.
What?
Yes.
Why?
Sarcasm.
Oh.
How can you not pick it up?
I was just like, what?
This isn't text.
Sorry, I like
literally
completely blanked out there. I was like, you're supposed to add RGB to get 35 FPS more.
You do both. Yeah. You put RGB on an Intel Optane drive.
Oh, wow.
You're
375 gigs of RGB memory.
You're going to win every single game of Battlefield. You might as well go pro right now.
You don't need to go pro. You just have to buy Optane.
Job's done.
Okay, instead of dropping the mic, let's move to the next article.
Okay, let me pull it up. Pulling up the next article. AMD announces... Oh, did that switch? I clicked the wrong one again because I moved it. Okay.
New system is getting used to it.
AMD announces Ryzen 5 lineup, hex core from $219.
Okay, sorry. Before we discuss this, I don't know if you want to maybe talk about the thing that's not an article, the discussion of Ryzen 7.
What discussion of Ryzen 7? Which one? Which
that?
That
that down there.
You want me to show them?
Yeah.
Byron wants me to show you guys. I have something to show you. Hi. You guys want to see something cool? The new system, the reason I'm not using a laptop right now is because, bam, Ryzen 7 1700 with 32 gigabytes of G-Skill Trident Z RGB RAM courtesy of Rootware, as well as the RX 480 right there, running on some low-end motherboard because X370s aren't available really retail in South Africa right now. They are
but
the stupidly expensive ones.
And in limited quantity.
None of like the reasonably priced ones like the ASRock or the Aorus or...
Well, when we phoned last week, there was one in stock, and then from the phone, like the follow-up phone call, once we got the right account number, it was already gone.
Yeah, like right now, if I want an X370 board, I have to pay anywhere from $350 to $500. That's what the X-Power Gaming Titanium is going for, 6,000 Rand.
And it's like, Intel, when you wanted to buy a Z270, started at like 2,000 Rand.
Yes. So, no, I love Ryzen. Like, from my perspective, what I use it for, I play games, yes I do, but I have I have an RX 480 or GTX 1060. The 1700s, not bottlenecking that at anything. At 1080p, no bottlenecks whatsoever.
And what do you play? League of Legends?
Get off my back. I play more
No, but what
than
I'm getting at is like what your main focus of games.
No, I play
never
more.
Going to bottleneck this.
But even the ones like if I want to play a AAA title, if I want to play,
you can.
Yes, and it's not going to bottleneck on the 1700 because.
And you don't do competitive play, so you don't need 120 FPS. If you get 110, you don't mind.
Right, but Ryzen doesn't even limit that much. Like, the whole issue that everybody was like, oh, Ryzen 7 worse at the gaming at 1080p. It's like everybody was using a GTX 1080 and dropping everything. Nobody does that. Nobody in this entire world plays like that. And guess what? Anybody who's a competitive player also drops the settings to where a 1080 is going to be pulling all of the weight. That 10% difference, you're not going to notice because it's over 200 to 300 FPS.
And who that's got a 1080 Ti is running 1080p?
Not this guy.
Someone that doesn't know enough.
Not this guy. The reason I used a 1080 in my video is because that's what
everyone was doing.
That's the appropriate way to benchmark a CPU. But guess what? For practical everyday use, I don't care. Yeah. I literally have no qualms with the Ryzen 7 1700 being 25% slower at at whatever resolution.
Single-threaded performance.
It doesn't matter to me.
Blah, blah.
But what I do get out of this is I can stream XSplit to multiple different sources at this point with no hiccups whatsoever. I can edit my videos at full 4K resolution. I can scrub through the footage completely with no lagging.
Before you continue with that, so your notebook was a 5700 HQ, right?
Yes.
Okay, so even though that's...
it's a quad core running at 3.2 gigahertz. Quad core 8
with
threads.
8 threads.
Yes.
Okay. When Brett would only go to Facebook... when you would only push to YouTube, 100 CPU utilization
80.
at times.
80%.
But sometimes it peaked to 100.
If I did Facebook, it was guaranteed 100.
Yes.
Right now, we are streaming to both YouTube and Facebook at higher bit rates than before, and I'm doing 27% utilization on the CPU. And my video editing, it's not that the export times are going to be faster because they're CUDA accelerated anyways.
Yeah.
Like
you could get a 6950X, it's still faster, but
I have CPU acceleration enabled, GPU acceleration enabled on all of my renders, so that doesn't really matter. But what does matter, the 7700K could not keep up with my 4K scrubbing.
Yep.
Like my 4K footage off of my Panasonic GH4 would not be smooth to play back in my PC in Adobe Premiere.
Yeah.
With Ryzen,
no problem.
No sweat whatsoever. And that's at 3.7 gigahertz. Because I'm on a garbage board, like I can't get it too high right now. So 3.7 gigahertz is what I'm at. Once I get an X370, I'm going to push it to 4. It's going to be amazing.
Quick question, because I guarantee someone out there is going to ask.
Yeah.
Before we speak about Ryzen 5, Ryzen 7. Okay, we have 3 processors. 1700, 1700X, 1800X. Which one do you recommend and why?
1700 because they all overclock to 4 gigahertz. Yeah. You're not... Okay, unless you think that you're going to murder your CPU from overclocking, if you're that afraid of it, then buy the 1800X because you're going to get higher clock speed.
Don't even say that.
If you have that fear of overclocking, or alternatively, you don't want to mess with settings.
Okay, there's no actual guarantee that the 65 TDP 1700 at 4 gigahertz over a year is not going to damage it. We don't know enough information long term, but at the same time,
That's true. It's completely new. We have no idea what the life expectancy on all of this is.
But at the same time, I know people that are still 6-7 years later running 2500Ks at 5 gigahertz. Honestly, if you can get a stable overclock, whatever.
Yes, so all of the overclocking on the 1700, 1700X, and 1800X is 4 gigahertz.
Yeah.
Every single one of them, more or less.
I know a lot of people were only able to get 3.9 on the 1800X.
Yeah, the 1800X has been overclocking lower, but like the 1700, I paid less than what I could get a 7700K for.
Yeah. And you bought yours. You literally physically bought.
None of this is sponsored. The RAM's sponsored and the GPU. Thank you, Wilbur.
But you mean
you guys are amazing. No, the Ryzen CPU and the board. This is my personal system. Like I'm going to be using this for my video editing. I sold all of my Skylake, my Z170, my Z2, everything that I had Intel. I sold that a month ahead of Ryzen.
Yeah,
because
that made sense.
Like the leaks were too good as far as like what I thought it would be, and now that it's here, it's actually just that good. It just is. Sure, if you have a GTX 1080 and you want to play games at 1080p at lowest settings and you want that extra 20% to get over 400 FPS, sure.
Everyone that's complaining about Ryzen, there's only 2 reasons. They overhyped what it would do before and they're salty now, or they're just super Intel fanboys.
No.
There's no reason. No, listen. For its value proposition and what you can do with it, there's nothing wrong with it to any degree.
Like value proposition, even buying the 1800X is a better deal than getting the 1600K. Like you're overspending on Ryzen, it's still better than getting an Intel at the high-end desktop. Unless you need quad-channel memory, whatever. Like the caveats aside.
Yeah.
For everybody who should be watching this stream, because I really don't cater to like the high-end Linux guru people.
You're not an X99 enthusiast.
Like I'm not catering to that type of people with my channel. At least I'm not trying to portray that. Everybody who watches this channel, Ryzen is good enough. It just is.
It's really good.
Well, Ryzen 5, like Ryzen 7 is overkill for a lot of people.
Price-wise, yes.
You don't need an 8-core 16-thread CPU.
No, and I'm still... I sold my Intel kit the same time as you. I think like a day... No, I sold my CPU the day before you.
Yeah.
And I have not yet replaced it. I'm using an i5 for now because I'm still just playing games. But I started streaming recently, and it's like a massive bottleneck on a i5 6400.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to get a new CPU. I need more threads. I don't necessarily know if I need the CPU clock, because that's even me. I don't care if I'm running the game at 65 FPS or 75. I just want to be able to run the game good enough, like a good, settings and that kind of thing. But right now, being limited to 4 threads at 2.8 gigahertz, it's terrible. So I don't know that Ryzen 7 is what I need. I know I need more than 4 threads, so not Ryzen 3. I don't know yet. I'm waiting for Ryzen 5 before I finally say what I want.
I'm going to say this live on camera, just like I said this to you in the car. You need the 1600. Buy the 1600.
No, main reason I say that is we still don't know that whole issue of like the 4 to 4.
No. The CCX modules is not going to affect you. It might. Byron, it's only affecting latency in games. And how is the Ryzen 5 1600 going to hinder your performance over the i5 that you're running right now? It's not. Shut up. You need the R5 1600.
Yeah. Let me put it this way. I'll say I'm privileged enough that I've gotten used to high-end stuff. Like, I didn't pay for my 6700K, and like, fortunately, thank you, Cooler Master. Just put it there.
Just name dropping all over the place here right now.
There. And the thing is, it's like, I don't want to go worse than that. And I know you can say that a 1600 is not worse than a 6700K. I know, okay? But it's like...
For what you're doing, it's not.
Yes, but like, I want Ryzen 7 because I'm used to...
Okay, then sell a bit more and then get the R7.
I'm waiting. Because, put it this way, I know you are going to get a 1600.
No.
At some stage, you're going to review one.
Maybe
you're
for review. Yeah,
okay?
not for my personal
And then I'm
use.
going to use it, and then I'm going to go, okay, cool, it's good enough.
Okay, I think you need a 1600. You're going to buy a 17.
I need a 16, not a 14. Yes.
I honestly, I can't even see the reason of buying the XQs right now. Because the XFR boost, because there's still even...
It's not even working. Like,
it's not working properly, and then XFR boost even still exists on the 1700, but it's only 50 megahertz instead of 100.
Sorry.
But it doesn't matter.
Reason is Walt by the 1700 versus the 1700X or 1800X. It comes with a cooler. And like, I know... And people can argue you should use an AIO, blah, blah, blah.
It's a big deal right now because in South Africa, getting AIM4 support, unless you buy the ASUS Crosshair board, which is like 5,000 Rand, not worth it, and has AIM3 mounting calls, you're going to struggle to get your cooler to fit.
Yeah.
Whereas like, mine works because I have the 1700.
The low-end cooler that is available... So the high-end cooler we have access to in South Africa that's AIM4 compatible is fine, but the low-end is worse than what you have right there for free.
It's true.
So you might as well just have that.
Yeah, it's working fine. I'm running 3.7 gigahertz. I'm not overvolting.
You're not going to get 4 gigahertz on that 24/7. That has already been confirmed by it was Bitwit, I think, that did a video on it. That's confirmed.
Yeah, well,
but that doesn't matter. That's not why you bought it.
Can't even hit.
Yeah, that's not why you bought that.
Yeah, no, I bought this because there's no X370.
Yeah.
It's good. So the thing we don't have an article on, but I'm really excited about, is not Naples. Their high-end desktop platform. So there's rumors.
Yes.
There's rumors floating around.
Is it just rumors?
It's confirmed rumors. So the guy from NAG, Wesley Fick.
Yes.
So he said, was it him? I think it was him.
On Twitter.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
He said one of his industry sources has been telling him that the confirmed rumors are that it is going to be 16-core 32-thread.
Yeah.
It is going to be using LGA socket, so there's no more pins. No more pins, which is amazing because all high-end desktops have been
because it's going to have its own platform. That's cool.
Yes, so it's not going to be AIM4 compatible. It's going to be LGA.
So it might be like X390 or something like that, or we don't know what it's going to be.
They call it X399 just to screw with Intel.
Probably.
So 16 cores, 32 threads, roughly $1,000. No, pricing. No, pricing is the thing that wasn't confirmed.
But I did see
by his industry source, he was like, pricing's up in the air. But 16 cores, 32 threads, high-end desktop, quad-channel memory.
That was what I was waiting for because that's the thing Ryzen doesn't have.
I'm excited for that.
That is cool.
16 cores, 32 threads.
The concern...
It's not going to overclock as well as the 6950X.
Concern I have is that like when I was... Just before I got my 6700K, I was using a 3770K and I wanted to go like X99, whatever, I can't remember what it was called at the time. I don't even think it was that. Probably. And where am I getting at with this? Oh yes, the boards.
Yeah.
There was one MSI board that was like 3,000 rand, and it was so bad, like ultra budget end of like the high end.
Okay.
And the next thing up was like 6,000 rand.
Okay.
And then I was just like, because the CPU prices, people don't realize that the jump from a X700K, so like let's say 6700K, 7700K, whatever, to like the next step up X99 at the bottom is nothing. There's no major price increase.
Right. It's
like,
the board.
It's the board, because a 6800K is like 500 rand more than a 6700K, depending on where you're buying. Like, that's amazing.
Right.
You know, but to spend 5,000 rand on the lowest end X99 board,
no chance.
You don't want that, because no one's gonna. If there was a 1,500 rand Z270 board, you would not buy it based off its price, because you'd be like, something's wrong with it. And that's the issue with X99 right now. If you see one for 3 grand, you're like, I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, but we're having the opposite problem with the AM4 boards. It's like everything is just ridiculously expensive.
But this is what I'm getting at. So now, if an X370 is going to in South Africa, I'm going to say it starts at 3,000 rand, because generally speaking, that's where it is. ASRock is like the only exception.
Right.
Okay? If that's the benchmark of the lowest end, what is this like premium kind of thing going to cost? 5,000-6,000 rand for the lowest end board. The average consumer in South Africa cannot afford that.
Right.
And that's why.
Well, that's why it's high. It's high end desktop.
But like,
who needs a 16-core 32-thread? Exactly. No.
Yeah.
Nobody. Who
needs a 6950X for gaming?
Nobody. But like
people do.
Yes, and I would say most consumers in South Africa don't need Ryzen 7. They need Ryzen 5.
Yeah.
Which, let's get to that article.
Yes. Let's move on.
Let's actually. I'm so excited about the high-end desktop. So AMD announces 219 starting for the 6-core 12-thread. The interesting thing to note about Ryzen 5, the 1600 and 1600X, the 1600X at least, is a 95-watt TDP, which is higher than the 1700. And it has the same core clock as the 1800X.
But 4 threads less, 2 cores less.
2 cores, 4 threads less, which, given how AMD has run these things in the past, it could just be that this is an 1800X with the cores actually just disabled.
It is disabled.
That's
confirmed.
In the initial run.
It's confirmed. It's confirmed that...
Where?
If
you didn't get an article from
this is what I'm getting at.
Okay.
It's confirmed that this is an 8-core with the threads, with the cores disabled.
Yeah.
But it's not confirmed if it's a soldered joint kind of thing.
Okay. If it's a firmware disable or if it's an actual physical, they disabled those cores. Which, given AMD's past, they didn't physically disable them.
They have and haven't. Because
more recently.
Okay. The tri-core AMDs, you could just buy your BIOS, update it, and you could get 4 cores. The 6950 to 6970 AMD cards, at launch, all the XFX and Power Color cards, you could just like firmware. But then what happened is after the second batch, they physically cut the solder joint between them.
Right.
And then there was no way around it.
I'm saying on initial batches.
Yeah. Initial batches. So,
because they're rushing these out to get these out initially, which is the same thing they did with the RX 480. Yeah. You had the 4 gig models that you could flash to 8 gigs. It's the same with the RX 460 where you have the stream processors. Oh my gosh. You have the stream processors that you can actually re-enable through a firmware flash.
Yeah. So look, I am 80%, I wouldn't even say 50, I'm 80% sure that buying a 1600 on launch can be, physically possible to be upgraded to a 1700. I just don't know if board partners will enable that.
Yeah,
that's the concern.
It's a possibility that we can speculate about right now. Do not
go buy it based off of what I said.
Do not go buy a 1600X expecting this. Because even
the 1600.
Yeah,
it's the same thing practically.
Yes.
As a 1700, not
so the 1600X also doesn't come with a cooler. Starts at 249. So basically, this is the 1700. This is the 1700X.
Yes.
Whatever.
No. Because it's 65 TDP, so it's a 1700, and the 1600X is an 1800 with 2 cores, 4 threads disabled.
Yes.
So look, I'm saying it right now that don't do this based off of what I'm saying, but I'm almost like confident that a 1600 on launch, if you pre-order one today to get the first batch, will be the best value ever to date in like CPUs right now.
For getting
when unlocked to a 1700. I'm sure. I'm telling you right now, ASRock will be the one to do it. They've done it every time.
If.
Yes, if.
Byron, if.
That's enough ifs, dude.
Yes. Okay.
But
so it's exciting because, I missed this in all of my videos. The big thing about Ryzen is that it brought everything that Intel is doing for thousands of dollars and said, here, you can have it.
Yeah.
And that is amazing. You can get a 6-core 12-thread for the price of an i5. And for anybody who needed those extra cores, the only option was getting a 6800K or a 6850K, which is a huge jump from an i5. A huge price jump.
Or even a 6700, because I mean, it's still more threads, it's not more cores.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say.
So it's...
But it's still a price increase.
Yes.
It's almost double.
If you have an unlocked i5 or you have an unlocked i7, if you're running any of those, don't consider upgrading to Ryzen 5 or Ryzen 7 for gaming. If you do any sort of content creation, if you do
literally any.
Well, not okay. Yes. I like to temper my statements, but yes, if you're doing any, if you're trying to become a streamer, get a Ryzen 5.
Yeah. 6
cores, 12 threads is going to go so much further than getting an i5 at this price. And there were some unexpected leaks of South African pricing. I'm not sure if it was intentional or not.
Should we even mention it?
I'd rather not. I'd rather not.
Okay.
So there was a South African retailer that had Ryzen 5 pricing.
It wasn't Woodware.
It wasn't Woodware.
Yeah.
That had Ryzen 5 pricing up on their website, and it indicated, yes, it's going to come into South Africa at an i5's price.
Yeah, the cheapest 1400. Let me just quickly see the models because was it 40? Yeah, the 1400 was 2,999 rand.
Yes.
And then the 1600X was 4,750 rand, roughly there.
Yes, which makes the 1600X not worth it because you can get the
1600 was like 3,250.
No, it was 3,799. It was just below 4.
Yeah,
yes.
You're right.
So the 1600 came in at 3,799 rand.
Yeah.
Again, this was like
and if that's a 1700, which is technically an 1800X,
yes,
that'd be amazing value for money.
That's great value. Again, this was on a retailer who has subsequently pulled down those prices. Yeah. It could just be they were testing the system. It could be cheaper. It could be more expensive. Yeah. I'm pretty sure those were about what we're going to get it for.
At the same time, something that I like to say is that most of the people that are buying Ryzen 7 or Ryzen 5 expecting those extra cores, let's say streamers and content creators and that kind of thing, most of them are actually just looking for that step above Intel. They're not looking for the highest amount of cores, because if they were, they'd still go x99 anyway.
Right.
Because look, Xeons and 6950X and that kind of thing already have more core count than Ryzen even has.
Right.
So what I'm getting at is that if you look at a 1600 at 6 cores and 12 threads, I can guarantee that 90% of the people that are even considering Ryzen 7 right now, they just want that edge above an i7. They just want something more because they're playing games and used to it, but they want to stream as well.
Yes.
And those 12 threads will give it to them.
It is going to go a long way for
Yes.
anybody who's trying to do Twitch or YouTube streaming.
Yes.
A long way.
It already is. I mean, if we only using 30% CPU utilization right now, that means a 1600 would have been more than fine in this case.
Yeah, I'm going to pull it up. I'm literally going to show you, why did you do that to me? I'm going to show you guys what my CPU utilization is right now.
How are you going to do that?
And we're streaming 1080p, 60 FPS.
Yeah.
There you go. Just like that. It's
1080p 60 FPS and 720p 30.
Yes, and it's split across basically every single core. Some are doing more, some are doing less, but every single core is doing the work, which allows it to happen.
Yeah, which means if you only had 12 threads, it'd still be fine.
Absolutely, but not on the 7700K.
No.
It wouldn't be doing this.
No, 1700K.
I mean, you could.
Sucks for content creation, to be quite honest.
It's okay. It was the best we had.
It is.
It was the best we had for 2 weeks.
I had a 6700K,
which was basically the same. Basically the same. Yeah. So, I'm excited. So, I actually can't remember all of the pricing from the South African retailer.
But it was from 2999. I know that much.
It was from 2999, and I do remember the 1600 being 3799.
Yeah. And we were a little bit concerned about the price starting at 2999 because it was like that's considerably higher than
it
US
was
price.
An 800 rand increase over the American pricing.
Yeah.
But that if you factor in shipping and VAT, it kind of takes.
But we were just saying as a value proposition. Yeah, remember that it doesn't necessarily look like it. Like it might make more sense to just get an i5 or an i7.
Yeah, we didn't take a screenshot because we were like, oh, they're just releasing it. It's going to be available, and then it's like, oh, no other retailer released that pricing, and it's gone now.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But when we physically went there, which already eliminates where this place could be or what it is, they were just open about it. They're like, yeah, that's the prices.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. So 1600 is going to be amazing. Okay, so let's move on to more AMD stuff. So Vega has got a soul and a brain.
Which means what?
It means that literally AMD is saying it's got a soul and it's got a brain. I don't know what that means, but these are leaked photos taken off of a video showing Vega. So basically, you get a white backplate. That's beautiful on a reference card.
Hold on, I think it's just like I think it might just be the
No.
lighting.
No, like the people who have looked into this, it's
not silver.
No, it's a white backplate.
Because it looks the same color as the side from there.
From what I've read, it's a white backplate, and they're speculating that you could have a black option.
Okay.
So I think this looks...
Why it's amazing in RGB bolts.
Yeah, I think this looks good for a reference card. We know nothing about performance at this point. There's speculation that the RX 580 is just going to be a rebadge of the 480 with a few improvements, but then there's also speculation that the RX 580 is going to be completely different.
The way it looks,
yeah,
it's not plastic.
That looks metal.
Yeah, it looks like brushed kind
of
thing.
That looks like brushed aluminium.
Yeah, and that was the biggest complaint with the 480's reference look. A lot of people were like, this is just a plastic square.
It was just a cheap plastic.
Although I like that aesthetic. Inside of like an S340, that fits perfectly in an entirely square build.
Like a reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have no problems with the look. It's just the cooling performance, and then it was plastic.
Yeah, but the 480's cooling wasn't even half the problem. There was the voltage issues in the beginning and that kind of thing too anyway.
Yeah, the power draw from the PCI Express slot. Yeah. So the thing that I have a question about, which AMD CPU pushed, was RGB on their cooler.
Okay.
Is this RGB? I can see them doing it. Because
they're showing in red, but that makes sense for the promotional video too.
Because no matter who you are, no matter what company you are,
and how you feel about it,
you are going to sell more if you can say it has RGB.
There's two words in marketing right now with any product.
Gaming, RGB. Yep. So Linus Tech Tips did that video of their Consumer Choice Awards for PCs, and the top 8 graphics cards.
Which means like all.
Yeah, out of 26
but you know what I mean, like most used.
Out of the top 8 graphics cards that people bought on Linus Tech Tips, Amazon affiliate link, had the word gaming in the title.
All top 8.
All top 8. The 9th one didn't. 9th place, no gaming.
And who wants to come 9th place?
You got to put gaming in the title. We need to call this B-roll gaming.
With B-roll RGB gaming.
B-roll RGB gaming. I've got the RGB right now.
RGB B-roll gaming edition.
I've got the RGB. I've got an RX 480. I've got everything we need.
We just need green because there's some blue over there. There's some red over here. My eyes are green.
Oh,
Job's done.
The gator's green.
Oh, true.
I just need to wear a bigger gator. That's it.
Job's done.
We did it. All right.
Or we should just...
What do you guys think? B-roll RGB gaming. I think that's it.
It's times like this that I question why I'm here.
Can you please speak in Afrikaans about Vega? I am American.
Yeah.
He doesn't speak Afrikaans.
Once sell me.
What?
We won't.
Okay.
Once Vilni, we don't want to.
Okay. I have not tried speaking Afrikaans because most of the people...
He does. So a lot of the time, like, we have this thing we do on Sundays here at Brett's house, and then, like, I'll go to the gate and I'll send him a WhatsApp. Yeah. By the gate, Beatty hack.
Except for when I read it, it's by die heck. I'm like, what are you trying to say to me by it?
So bad.
I've begun saying to my kids donkey when they do something. But whatever. No.
That's still not even right.
Donkey. But whatever. Buy a donkey, please.
And that was closer, though, the way you actually said the word.
Whatever. Most of the people that I interact with in South Africa are Afrikaans. So, like...
But you even interact with, like... all nationalities.
I interact with basically everybody, and so like English is just the standard, which is really helpful for being an American here.
Although like there's been a few times where me and you have gone somewhere, and then like an Afrikaans dude will just come up to us and just start like layers, like just speaking.
So I've noticed that like with South Africans, if you tell, this is a very broad generalization, if you tell Afrikaans people, oh, can you please speak English? They don't like that.
Yeah, well, Afrikaans men generally, older generation.
I don't want to go.
I can say that because I have Afrikaans heritage. So
okay,
I've
just seen that where it's like, oh, you want me to speak English? Whereas like I have the advantage of like I just say, sorry, I'm from America. Could you just help me out?
For me,
and then they treat me like, oh, okay, no problem. I can speak in English for you.
Yeah. But like if I had to go to like an older generation Afrikaans man and say to him, please speak English, he will not be pleased. And it's because it's also like it's got to do with
Let's not.
No.
I don't want to go into politics.
It's pride in people's language.
Okay, that's fair.
That's what I'm saying.
I think English is a very common language.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're getting worse.
It's a very common language. It makes things. So we haven't featured builds in the past 3 B-rolls because nobody's been sending them in.
Yeah.
Let's just put that out there.
So
that's on you guys.
Okay.
Did you drop the ball somewhere?
No.
Why did that happen?
Why are you opening LOL?
I don't know.
Okay. To be fair, I'm part of the show too. Do you guys think we should start a page for B-roll?
A page? What does that mean?
A Facebook page for B-roll where people can submit things and we can, after the show, push the content out.
Maybe.
And these are the recommended videos and articles and that kind of thing. I want to know from you guys, do you think it makes sense for Brett and I to create a Facebook page for B-roll? So at least pre-show and post-show, there's at least something for you guys.
I'm on the no side because we already have personal pages and I don't like the idea of creating something extra. So that's my vote.
Well, I can push the stuff there because I don't want to say, hey guys, join all my stuff just to be able to see this because you don't do that.
What do you mean?
You don't have the after of B-roll of the content where it goes and where submissions happen other than Twitter.
Yeah.
And people aren't doing that. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Why aren't you doing it?
So either get engaged with us. Okay. It's hard for me. There and there, somewhere there, whatever. Okay. Are our social media links. Follow both of us on Twitter and get engaged with us if you want us to answer your questions.
I'm most active on Twitter.
Yes.
Brett
hardly uses Facebook whatsoever. I use Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Both of our social links
here. I'm on every platform. Twitter is where you want to talk to me.
Yes. I mean, even considering Brett's at over 13,000 subscribers, why does he not have 13,000 Twitter followers? You guys need to follow him on Twitter so you can get get your questions answered.
Okay, let's just move on instead of self-promoting me a bit more. Okay, so we went out of order here for some reason. So somebody asked the question of, do you agree with Roger Kadori's statement that the bottleneck that we're seeing with Ryzen is more application-based?
Like software, yeah.
Rather than performance-based? And I would say yes. I suspected that when I was benchmarking. Yeah. But now, so we're just going to pull up a tweet from a group of reviewers who said that in their testing from a Windows update, from a single Windows update, they saw a 45% improvement.
That's huge.
In the 1800X's performance in games.
And that's a DirectX 10 benchmark. That's not even DirectX 12 performance increase.
Yes. So no, they're just showing the Unreal Tournament graph. They're saying Total War Warhammer, Cinebench, Handbrake, Batman Arkham Asylum, 45% increase from a Windows update that included some code to help with Ryzen.
Crazy.
So this came out. When did this come out? Yesterday morning. So there's still verification that needs to happen with this as far as does this actually help? Is it just their system? Did they have something wrong? What's going on here? But that lends itself to Ryzen was an application issue.
Okay, this is also based off of an issue in gaming right now, is that most games are not optimized for core count, they're optimized for single thread performance.
Right.
And that is what Ryzen hopes to change, because now if the average consumer has 8 threads minimum, because for gaming, people are not going to always just buy a Ryzen 3. It's Ryzen 5 is now going to be the benchmark consumer affordable kind of thing. If the average consumer has 8 cores, games are not going to always need to be focused on single-threaded performance. People are going to be able to actually push gaming multi-core optimization.
Yes.
And that's the issue right now, is that there are some games out there Watch Dogs that utilizes Ryzen to its full capability.
They were showing that the 6900K before Ryzen came out. They were showing that the 6900K performed better than the 6700K in Watch Dogs 2 because it was utilizing all 8 cores. So physical cores over threads, because threads give you about 30 to 50% the performance of an actual core.
Yeah. Which is the reason why an i7 is not double the performance of an i5, and people don't understand that.
Yes, because threads aren't actual, they're not actual cores. You can't just do double the performance. Yeah. If you're using the entire physical core, you're not getting a second thread through there until it can prioritize it.
But if games games are optimized to be able to use all 8 threads as a minimum, that'd be amazing, and Ryzen would have no problem.
Right. So I think there's a lot to work with on Ryzen. Single-threaded performance definitely is not there, but at the same time, there's a lot to work with as far as games going forward. And one of the big promises of DX12 is that it's going to utilize CPU. Yeah. It's going to. That's the promise.
Even there was we didn't have an article, and we haven't discussed this. recently NVIDIA released a new, what do you call it, driver update that gave DirectX 12 performance NVIDIA cards like a big boost.
From their
like,
benchmarks, yeah.
Yes, but what I'm getting at is that like this was the issue where everyone was like, oh, AMD's better than NVIDIA and DirectX 12, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't want to start another war, but like that was a software issue and now it's getting resolved. And that's the thing with Ryzen 2. It's software is a big thing. I mean, it's the same reason in the reverse of why a Nintendo Switch, an Xbox One, a PlayStation 4 can have garbage specs but run decent games. It's optimization in software.
Right, which is why Horizon Zero Dawn can look amazing even though it's running...
Even in 4K.
Yes, even though it's running on an APU is because they only have to program for that. They don't have to worry about supporting a GT 710 to make sure it can even just load the game and also a GTX 1080 Ti.
Yeah. But this is even one of the reasons why like a lot of people encourage people to not create their own engines and rather use Unity or Unreal Engine, because Unreal and Unity are developing their engines with NVIDIA, with AMD, with Intel, and like every single version that comes out has optimizations in tie with releases.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like, if you're developing a game in Unreal Engine 4, when Ryzen comes out, it'll run well. Whereas like people that are making proprietary engines, it's like it's impossible for them to even own all the hardware to begin with. Right?
Yeah.
And then optimize it for that.
Yeah. So some people are saying in the YouTube chat about the Infinity Fabric latency that exists between the CCX, like the core complexes on. So like for Ryzen 7, it's not 8 cores. It's 2 quad cores that are interconnected through Infinity Fabric,
which is what the previous AMD was, but done in a completely different way.
Yeah, sort of. It's different. It's better.
Yeah.
So the CCXs are connected by Infinity Fabric, which only runs as fast as your memory speed is. So there's an increase in latency. So if games, so this is one of the issues with optimizations as well. So let's say a game is trying to send data to Core 1, and that's on CCX 1.
Yeah.
And then they're trying to send data to Core 2, but that happens to be located on CCX 2. They then have to cross the channel running at DDR4 speed to actually even communicate what's going on there. And so that introduces latency, which causes complications with FPS and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, sorry. This is one of the reasons why I said I was concerned about the 6-core Ryzen.
Yes.
1866 megahertz, not even 2133.
No. Ryzen 7 starts at 1866.
As well?
Yes.
Oh,
no,
okay.
the baseline is 1866. You're used to it on Intel being 2133.
Okay,
but
I'm
this
mistaken.
This is also one of the biggest issues with motherboards right now, is that you can hardly find one that can really do above 2400 megahertz on all 4 sticks.
No, but that was, you can't even get 2133 on all 4 sticks. You're limited to 1866 on all four sticks.
No, you're not.
That's in that article.
I haven't read that. I'm talking about Ryzen.
But that's what I'm saying on Ryzen 5.
I'm talking about Ryzen 7 right now. So Ryzen 7, 2400, basically most motherboards. 2667, if you're lucky. I got lucky with the motherboard I got. Like I had no BIOS issues with my review sample. Everything was fine. Like everybody who was saying that they were having complications, my review sample board ran like a dream. But I didn't even know there were issues because I wasn't talking to anybody. I'm here in South Africa running one of the only Ryzen samples in the country, at least before launch, to get a video out. I'm not talking to any of the other reviewers. I have no idea what's going on. I come out, my scores are higher than everybody else. And then everybody else is saying, oh, we had these motherboard issues. And I was like...
But would you be concerned if you had a 6-core processor and there's the 4/2 in this regard and you're running 1866 memory?
It's going to run slower, yes, because the Infinity Fabric that's connecting the CCXs is running slower, which is why higher speed memory is going to play a big deal as far as Ryzen performance goes. Except for right now, motherboards aren't supporting it, which just kind of ruins everything.
But then that's where I'm wondering if the 4-core 8-thread might make more sense than the 6-core 12-thread because of low memory speeds. Like, the performance gap might not
Is
be
it just limited to 1866? I didn't see that. So, I didn't
Please check.
Fine.
I'm pretty sure that it said on...
Okay, I'll look it up. 1866.
It might have been a different article then.
It was probably a different article.
Wonderful. This is the problem with reading too many articles and not wanting to put all of them on.
We looked through a bunch of articles and then we just basically picked the
Find
best
the one that's kind of...
do you want to talk about the GTX 1080 Ti?
It's more up your alley.
It's awesome. It's kind of worth it. So this is Eurogamer with Digital Foundry. The GTX 1080 Ti, 35% faster than the GTX 1080, coming in at the same price as what a GTX 1080 was at launch. It's the best graphics card on the market right now, worth buying if you're trying to get the best. Basically, it beats a Titan X Pascal in most instances.
And that's what, $1,000?
Yeah, no, it came in at 1,200.
Yeah, you're right.
It came in at 1,200, so they're shipping this at 700, which is just a great value. So, yeah, I don't really want to talk about that more than that. So here we go, PC building simulator. Byron picked this up. It's a neat little game here. Let me see if I can grab this right now. So it's a neat little game. It's very limited. There's no career, but I do see I do see the potential. So I'm just going to hide the tutorial. So basically, the idea is that you're going to be running a computer shop, and you have to assemble computers.
Yeah.
And so what you do is you go over to the shop, and you buy everything that you need, whatever, and then you come over to the case, which is a Cooler Master case right now, if you can't tell, and you open your inventory. You put in. They want you to put in the power supply first. So no, you have to put in the motherboard standoffs. Miscellaneous. So
which is kind of cool because it's trying to teach people how this actually works.
Except for most motherboard standoffs are installed in cases now.
Yeah,
so this is dumb.
But like,
this is dumb. Why do I have to do this?
It's the compatibility side. Where there's people that are like wondering, they don't really know compatibility.
This is why I suck at first-person shooters, because like...
I'm using probably a trash mouse to begin with.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, so thermal tape power supply, that's in, and now it wants me to install something. I'm just going to put it in the motherboard. Bam! And now I'm going to put in the CPU. Oh, no, you have to open the CPU thing.
The point to this is that they're basically trying to create a simulator for people to be able to build PCs and learn about compatibility, learn about pricing, and actually have one-to-one ratio in terms of what
I put it in the motherboard
like
shield before the I/O.
Oh, wow.
Or the motherboard before the I/O shield, but it does this. Oh. Okay.
In real life, you wouldn't be able to do that, and it tells you.
Yeah. Okay. So like basically, you just make computers, and then the idea is that you get orders. So like it's just a basic Unity game at this point, but it's kind of cool.
I thought
it's interesting.
I thought of something when I saw it. So, Cooler Master last year, I ran a competition for them where people had to build the master case in the quickest amount of time.
Okay.
Imagine they just had this; it would save so much effort
and money. Yeah. Basically.
And money, because like you don't need to have 6 master cases there and people damaging them. You could like have 6 PCs that I'm sure they already have, and just get the people to actually digitally create them.
Right.
And learn about it.
That's the thing that was cool about that is that like you couldn't really tell because I went through it really quickly, but like the parts themselves are rendered in 3D in such a way that they kind of look like the actual parts.
Yeah.
Like that Cooler Master case, you can tell. I looked at that before I saw the logo and I was like, this is a Cooler Master chassis. I know exactly what this is. So
but now I would think whoever's running it and making it would need a lot of third-party support to be able to actually get all these components, because that's going to be a major issue.
Yeah, and there might be like DMCA takedowns for like, you can't use my trademark material.
But at the same time, I could see like Asus and Cooler Master and those kind of guys getting on board.
I could see it going that way, but then I could also see it going the other way where they just don't.
Well, think of like 3Mark, where whenever you run the benchmark, there's like randomly in the background Galax or whatever, that kind of thing. They could have this like bench room having all the logos and things like that.
Right. Yeah. Having them pay for that, but then
I see potential.
It could be a cool game. It could be a game that would be like fun to just screw around with.
It's better than like Toast Simulator, where you basically roll a piece of toast.
Right. Okay.
There's such dumb games.
So we did actually just get a submission for PC rigs. So let's go ahead and pull that up on the stream. Except for here we go. There it is. So he tagged me in it. He retweeted me on that. Okay. So a Z77A. Whoa! Is there corruption in that picture? The picture looks corrupted.
It looks like it's supposed to go to the left.
I think the file got corrupted. Okay.
I didn't even know there was White Fury memory.
You have White Fury memory.
I don't have White Fury memory. I have Black Fury memory, and I've got White Crucial memory.
There's White Fury memory.
I didn't know.
Byron.
I have the black version.
Okay. Is that a White Wind Force? Did you paint that? That's pretty cool. Or is it just... No, that looks painted.
He doesn't have the specs, though.
Yeah, no specs. Where are the specs? i5-3470, not overclockable on a Z series motherboard.
Yeah. Well, it could have been if you didn't update the BIOS and did a
R9390 painted white. Okay.
Yeah.
R9390. I mean, that's
a
decent
that's
system.
3 series. It's not a Z. Z170 I'm thinking.
Right.
Sorry, I'm not thinking right now.
That's pretty cool.
Long day. Legit PC. I'm sure it runs everything fine.
I mean, you could upgrade at this point. I think Ryzen might be a decent way for you to go, but I have no
Ryzen
problems with
5.
that. Ryzen, yeah.
Ryzen 5 is going to be a big upgrade from a 3570.
Okay, cool. So,
cool.
Now, Byron,
what
you want
is
to talk about this? Standard Tegra X1 confirmed S switches processor. So, do you want to tell us more about that? So the big thing with the Nintendo Switch was everybody was like, oh, it's a custom Tegra. It's a custom Tegra. And then now that like teardowns can actually happen, everybody's just like, this is a Tegra X1, which is in the NVIDIA Shield.
NVIDIA Shield 2014.
Like, this is old. This is old. Like, the only thing custom about it is its clock speed.
No.
Okay.
So
enlighten me, Byron. Enlighten me.
The issue was the way they marketed it, where they said over 500 years of man hours have gone into developing the system, and it's a custom NVIDIA Tegra. So it is and isn't. The reason I say that is hardware-wise, no, it is literally a Tegra X1. The thing is, they're talking about the platform. NVIDIA helped with the entire platform. So from USB-C, all the hardware, all the peripherals, that kind of thing have to run with their chipset and software. Because the APIs and everything are made by NVIDIA, not by Nintendo. Okay. So the development, development kits, the development applications, that kind of thing, everything that's going on with the Switch has been developed by NVIDIA. Okay. That's why there's 500 years worth of man hours in it. Okay. So it is custom because it's not a Shield, but the hardware is not custom. It's a 256 core Maxwell processor running on a Maxwell, which today
Pascal was out for 6 months.
Yeah, I did research, and it's equivalent of half of a 750.
A GTX 750.
Yes, half. Yes, exactly half of one.
Wow.
Which I would not recommend a 750 to anyone at all for any reason whatsoever.
Right.
And that's a concern. But with that said, this is a mobile device. This can be taken anywhere. Yeah. And right now, what do we have as a comparison?
The Shield Portable.
Which sucks in comparison to this.
No, it doesn't. The only thing that it sucks in is game library.
It's not an X1.
I know it's not an X1, but show me anywhere where it struggles.
Okay, sure, but would you be able to run Zelda on that? No.
Probably.
No. If Zelda's struggling at 900p on an X1, it's
because they're not doing the dock properly.
Okay, look, let's set the salt aside for a second.
If it's running smooth, 30 FPS constant at 720p on the handheld version, I think there's headroom there because that's 30 FPS mins.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep, I know.
That's true.
I know.
Okay, I don't want to go too much into that, but its hardware is underpowered. Let's put it that much. Immensely underpowered.
The fact that the dock struggles more than the handheld is the most frustrating thing for me about this.
Where they can try to... whatever, I'll just hold it.
So, putting it in the dock. So, Zelda on the mobile setting is... Here, there we go. Zelda on the... It's out of focus, but whatever. No, it's fine. Zelda on the mobile setting plays smoothly.
Amazingly.
Completely like butter. No issues whatsoever. I haven't noticed a single frame drop.
I've only noticed it once, but when I moved from dock to handheld.
So I've not experienced any issues whatsoever with playing the game when it's like handheld mode like this. As soon as you put it into the dock, there are issues galore. There are frame drops. There are audio issues. You saw that happen on my TV where the audio kept dropping out. That was ridiculous. Then you have Joy-Con desync issues, which is happening. And it's,
mine and yours.
It's just like the console aspect of this. What? It just doesn't even seem like a console.
So going back to what I've discussed in previous episodes of B-Roll, I'm 100% firm believer that this should have been called the 4DS.
It doesn't need to be called the 4DS.
But what I'm saying is in terms of
upgrade to it.
Yes. This should be the new 3DS because they called the previous one the new 3DS. But what I'm getting at is this is the next step after a 3DS. This is not the next step after a Wii U. This is not this next step after a Nintendo 64 even because its console experience is worse than a Nintendo 64.
Okay, to be fair, let's temper that. It's worse on one game, on Legend of Zelda, which is a Wii U port. That could be to the fact that it's
okay,
a port.
at launch. No
It
matter
could be
what
a
you're
port.
discussing, at launch.
Yes.
The issue right now is the launch version, the launch usage of the Switch in docked mode
Because
is
the
a
only viable
terrible
game.
experience. But in handheld mode, I love it. Like, I literally love this thing.
Yes.
I played, so when I was home, I had the option of playing Horizon Zero Dawn or Zelda. I played more Zelda in portable mode than Horizon.
Yeah,
It was so fun.
when we were talking about the 750, not the 750 Ti, the GTX 750, not the Ti.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why we didn't say Ti.
It's closer to a mobile NVIDIA 830M, which is terrible.
Right.
But at the same time, like we're getting at, that's not why you're buying this. So let's talk about all the salt. Okay, let's get it out of the way.
No. Let's go to the good place. Okay. So it might be half of a GTX 750.
Yes.
But Zelda,
Looks good.
it looks good because they designed it well, which is something that Nintendo has always done well.
Open it up.
They can make games at low resolutions look really nice.
Well, I mean, if you look at what do you call it, Mario Galaxy, right? Mario Galaxy looked really, really good on a Wii. That thing had like 11 gigaflops.
Okay.
Think about that. Like a 1080, no, a 1070 is what, six teraflops or something like that,
Yeah,
roughly.
something like that.
Okay. Now you're talking about like 1,000 gigaflops makes a teraflop. This thing is, a Wii was 600 times slower than a 1070, and the game still looked good, depending on the games, the first party games. And this is what I'm getting at. Nintendo does an amazing job with first party. This case is a specific case because this game was developed for the Wii U.
Yes.
It wasn't developed for the Switch.
Okay, so you're gonna have to hold it up because I can't.
Do you want to maybe do it this side? It's a little
Oh
bit easier.
yeah. I was gonna switch to the webcam. Okay.
Okay.
So is this Horizon Zero Dawn?
No.
No, not anywhere near it. But you know what? It looks.
There's foliage.
There's foliage. There are particle effects galore. Like it is smooth. It looks natural.
Show the map size.
The map size. Yes, the map. I don't even have it because this is somebody started a new game here.
No ways.
Yeah, I'd have to
Zoom out. You should be able to zoom out at least.
I'm zooming out to blackness because I have none of the map open. Okay, I can't even see what I'm playing now.
Okay.
Okay. Regardless, all right. Let's just.
The game looks good.
The game looks good.
Looks good.
Does it look realistic? No, but that's not the
But
point.
it's stylistic.
Does this look better than Wind Waker?
Yes.
By thousands of %. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you got one cool thing that they've done.
I love
listen to this. Oh wait, they can't hear it now.
Oh, because you turned the audio. So let's
Turn the audio up and go to the home setting.
Yeah. Okay. So this it's the small things that Nintendo did really right with this console. Like the audio when you press any button or do anything small like this.
There's that sound that they had in the adverts.
That
sound.
is amazing. Or like when you tap on the home screen.
So it's like
It's just different noises, and it's just or like going to your homepage.
that's
there's
cool
kind of fun.
quirks.
Yes.
And this is even what's followed into Zelda, that there's cool quirks to it.
Yes.
The problem is people are comparing this to AAA title experiences where they're just thinking graphics and that kind of thing. Like, that's not what this is. You can have the best graphics on Earth and have a terrible game. You can have the worst graphics on Earth and have a terrible game like that, what was that, Life of Black Tiger, okay? And that's on a PlayStation 4, and that's what we're getting at, is that PlayStation 4's graphics are
Like
way
people
better
talk
than
about
us.
Crysis all the time as being like the pinnacle of graphics, but I
The
can't.
game's boring.
I don't know anybody who's ever talked about Crysis's gameplay.
Never.
Not a chance.
It's
Whereas,
like maximum speed. You do all the cool stuff and you're done with the game.
yeah. Whereas like Zelda, it's a complete experience.
Yeah.
It looks good. It has quirks.
Yeah.
It's not realistic, but it's not meant to be. It achieves what it's setting out for. I don't like the game just because of personal preference.
Yeah.
But like, it has a lot of like really good features,
Yeah.
and that's like. Nintendo did all of the small things correctly.
Yeah. Well,
all of the small things.
There's things that are
truth brings. I'll take one lift. Your ride, best trip.
like
It's just
it's random, but it's cool
Yes.
that it's there.
but you know
I want
what?
to show them the store. Sorry.
Okay, we'll get to that. The things that Nintendo screwed up on. Like, let's be frank. Who needs a freaking IR reader on the bottom of a Joy-Con?
Who needs 4D rumble? It's cool, but it's not needed.
Who's going to use... What game developer is actually going to use HD Rumble outside of a gimmick?
Yeah. I
Not
still
enough to develop the technology.
Look, things that people were complaining about that aren't issues at launch, like pre-launch. X1, it's not an issue. The Tegra X1's not an issue
right now.
Right now.
Yes.
It will be an issue when people are like, okay, we're done with only having stylized games and indie games. I want to have some AAA games. Why is there no Horizon? Like when the guys,
great, I can have Skyrim, but that came out a decade ago.
Like they'll reach an issue, okay? Like a time where there's an issue, but at the same time, like 3DS is still a device that's bought by everyone, and that thing absolutely sucks hardware wise, but the gameplay experience is there.
Yeah.
And like this is the thing, the dock is terrible, like beyond terrible.
Bad. It has nothing to it.
Yeah. But at the same time, people complained about the 32 gigs of onboard memory.
That's not an issue at all.
In the slightest, because the games, it's not like a PlayStation 4 where I've got a 500 gig version and I was waiting for hardware version 4.5 to come out, because install 5 games and you're done. You can't do anything with your
console. Because it actually installs games, even if you have the disc. Whereas like you have the cartridge for Zelda, there's nothing installed besides your saved games.
And maybe some updates. And that's what's good about it, that when you get a new game, if you have the option. You don't have to install, you don't install the game to the device. You put the cartridge in and you're done. You can play the game. And like that's amazing.
Yes.
Because the 32 gigs of memory is overboard. Like for screenshots now.
Unless you're going to be downloading the game.
Yes. But then you buy an SD card. Although this then leads to something else. So
okay. Another big thing that Nintendo did wrong. Oh, you want to play tabletop mode? Oh, sorry, you can't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This little piece of plastic right here is not enough to hold anything up.
Yeah.
Sorry, doesn't work. It's garbage. That kickstand is complete rubbish.
But look, that's why, like, I think, I 100% think they need to bring out a version of this console where the Joy-Cons are completely attached, docked permanently, no detachment at all, get rid of the IR sensor, get rid of the rumble support, honestly, make it an 8 gig model if that's what the real expense is, even though we all know that that's like an Apple thing, and make it half its price. Get rid of the dock even. Because honestly, as a handheld, this console is 11 out of 10. Versus anything on the market, as a handheld console, this thing is amazing. Like, I absolutely love it.
Yes.
Playing Fast RMX on here in handheld mode. Playing Zelda in handheld mode. Playing, I've got quite a few of the launch games. What was the other one? Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight I already owned on a PC, but never got to finishing it because, I don't know, like, I kind of got bored with it because I had other games to play on my PC, whereas now, where I was just sitting outside with nothing better to do and I'm just trying to get some fresh air, I can still play games while getting fresh air. I can play Shovel Knight, and that's awesome.
Now you can be in nature and not have to look at it. And actually play decent games.
Yeah, I'm going to get hate for this. But anyway, what I'm getting at is, this console has so many launch hardware issues, so many stupid things that seem like they weren't thought out correctly, but at the same time they can be overlooked because this has an amazing portable experience.
Except for the reason I can't overlook it is the game library is
that's what I wanted to get to.
It's Zelda. That's
not
all
only
you have.
but that's all you have.
That's all I'm going to
have
have
right
I
now.
don't care about anything else.
If you had Fast RMX, you'd enjoy it. If you got snipper clips, your kids would enjoy it.
I would enjoy it, but it's not worth dropping the money on a console for.
Okay, the game price is not necessarily, but the console, I get what you're saying. Because now to play a 260 snipper clip game, you need to pay 5,500 Rand for the console.
Yes.
That's harsh.
Or even to play Zelda, that's how much you have to pay.
You could rather buy your kids the NES Mini for 1,000 Rand and have way better experience for them.
Yes.
So I'm just going to open up the shop quickly to talk about what's actually there. Now, this is also something that is the reverse now. The launch was saying, okay, this console is going to be completely region free, and that is only for physical games. So I can fly to Japan and buy a Disigeo 5 and chuck it in here and it'll run. But if I come home and I want to buy a digital game, I only have access to EU stuff because South Africa falls in under EU. And there's EU, there's Japan, there's Australia, and there's America. I don't know what's on the Australian store, but the content, you need the password. The content that's on the EU store is the smallest library.
I don't even know why you want to do this.
I don't need to, but this is the thing. Like, Japan has like 5 or 6 more games than the South African store has, EU store. America has like 8 more. And there's some of them that are launch titles I wanted to play. Like, I really, really wanted to play The Binding of Isaac, and it's not available in EU whatsoever. And that's upsetting, because now I need to create a American account and pay American dollars, and I don't even know how much mission.
Okay, so this is the game library. Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah,
and
just indie titles and Zelda.
Not even.
Okay, I'm Setsuna is not an indie title. It's
Neo Geo?
I don't even know it.
So
Right.
I just want to counter quickly. I just want to counter. Give me a second. Man dies on stream.
I'm choking on my own
Billion
Nintendo
views. Okay, 1, 2, not Switch. 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of like the 12 games right now are Neo Geo games. So like MAME, old, arcade games.
That's garbage.
No one wants to buy that.
No.
They shouldn't even be on launch. That should have been like a afterthought right now.
Yeah.
And that's the issue I have right now is that Splatoon 2 is coming soon. Fine. Bomberman actually sucks.
Soon.
1-2 Switch is terrible.
Soon.
Zelda, amazing. Okay?
Super Mario Odyssey coming soon.
October.
It's not even a close launch.
Shovel Knight, 100% worth the money.
But you can get that on another platform.
You can, but this is the best way to play it in my
Fair
opinion.
enough. Fair enough.
Okay? I Am Setsuna, good. Snipper Clips, good. Fast RMX, 1000% worth of money. Fast RMX, 278 Rand, is cheaper than what I'd buy a Steam game equivalent. It is so good.
Do you know how much I'm used to paying for games?
G2A, $200 kind of thing.
No, nothing, because I would just play League.
Oh, come on. But, okay,
I'm still dying.
The general consensus with the Switch right now is that launch titles, nothing. There's hardly, if you're not a Zelda fan, don't buy a Switch. I'll say that right now.
Not right now.
Not
Absolutely
right now.
not.
You could even argue wait for version 2 of this console, and I don't mean version 2
by the end of the year.
Yeah,
Holiday launch.
like the Lite version. They'll probably bring out a Switch Lite, which will just be the handheld only version. Okay?
Bomberman sucks for being a full-priced title.
Even as an indie, it's not that.
Even if it was an indie that cost very little, it is a full-price game.
Yeah, 650 Rand for Bomberman is not worth the money.
Okay.
But, okay, getting back to it. Positives, okay? Zelda.
Okay, so this is something we haven't mentioned yet.
What?
I love the speaker. Oh my gosh, I almost threw this on the floor. The speaker design.
Yeah.
The speaker comes out the back, so I just need to make sure the speaker comes out the back, but they include little front holes so that you can actually hear it. It's not a rear-facing speaker design. It comes through both the back and the front.
And, okay, so, something Brett hates, but I love. That. 2-player out the box. Okay? Like...
I hate the design of the controllers.
Yes, but...
It is so uncomfortable because I have gigantic hands.
Yes, but like... Okay, face hugger. Anyway, today I played, what's the game again? Shovel Knight with my girlfriend for like 2 hours, and she hates games. Like, she doesn't really play games that much. We played Shovel Knight for 2 hours. She's used to playing a game for 5 minutes and telling me she's bored.
Do you know what game my wife has been saying she wants to play? Horizon.
Wow.
She's like, finally, there's like a strong female protagonist who doesn't have to dress without clothes in order to be relevant in a game. She's just like, I want to play this.
Well, look, Shovel Knight with these controllers, more than playable. And this is something that sounds weird. I like it more than an Xbox One controller. It sounds stupid, okay? Hear me out. These thumbsticks are more accurate. For some weird reason.
It's because you have tiny baby hands.
Okay, what I'm getting
Tiny baby hands.
If you're talking about any game other than a platformer, Xbox One controller, amazing, okay? But a platformer, the biggest issue I usually have is like, if you have like these two little platforms you need to jump between, and things like Rayman and Shovel Knight, and like, I hate it that I almost always never make it, and it just like, it ruins the experience for me, and there's so many times where it's like, this game doesn't need to be hard, it just feels dumb.
Yeah.
I've not once misjumped, anything like that in these games so far. And that's weird, because it is awkward designed. It isn't like ergonomically pleasing, but I like it. I don't know why. I'm not just saying it because I have the console, okay? It really feels good for platform games.
Fair enough.
Beyond that. And even like the fast RMX, because the racing style of fast RMX is just left, right, boost, and change. There's not a lot going on.
Yeah.
I do think that if I'm going to play a game that uses more than 4 buttons, this thing will suck.
Yeah.
I'm 100% putting that out there.
On level of comfortability, so apparently this is a Switch review. On level of comfortability, this is the most uncomfortable for me.
In handheld mode.
In handheld mode.
That's the most comfortable.
My hands cramp so bad. I can't even play an hour of Zelda like this.
No, I play till the battery dies.
I can't. I literally can't. I can maybe get...
Oh, wow.
That's fine. Everything's fine. Life goes on. Okay.
It's not my one.
No, it's not. Okay. This is second most comfortable.
What's first?
Freestyle.
Okay.
This is the most comfortable. But you know what would be the most comfortable that I'm not willing to pay 1,200 Rand for is the Pro Controller.
Which should be included. It should be included for 5,000 Rand.
Maybe.
There's too much technology that they added that the price of this went up. Like as in the IR sensor and all that kind of rubbish.
HD Rumble development.
Yeah. But like I feel that for 5,000 Rand you should have a Pro Controller. But their argument is that hey, you got 2 controllers out of it. But you know what you're saying. So when
this can't charge anything.
Yeah, you have to pay extra. I don't know.
This doesn't charge anything. You put your controllers in here and they die.
You can 3D print a better version of this.
If it's wider, it'd be better for me.
Yeah.
But then you don't get the indicator.
Do you know what people have been doing? Did you see they took this off?
And then they like...
And then they used this middle piece to connect the 2 controllers together, and then they just threw the back away. And apparently then it's more comfortable.
Oh, it wouldn't be
for people that have other hands. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Look, this is the thing. There's so many things I love about the Switch and hate about it at the same time that like I find it hard to recommend it. If someone played Zelda, buy it. Buy the Switch, you'll love it. If someone wants to play Fast RMX, buy it. If you're a Shovel Knight fan, which sounds random because I don't think anyone really is.
It's not worth the 5,000.
It's not worth 5,000 Rand. But if you have money to spend, it's worth it. If you're willing to buy it now, considering you'll get your money's worth long term in terms of the games,
maybe unless no, because this is the same thing that Nvidia just did. You released the GTX. You have the 1080 Ti. That's coming in for the same price as the 1080, and we upgraded the 1080, and you got a worse card for the same price.
They might drop the price, fine. I understand that, but what I'm getting at is the game library will be there.
We don't even know that.
We do. There's like 70 confirmed games already.
I know they're confirmed, but if people are throwing their Switches in the trash because the games don't come out until October, I don't know. And, like I can't ever make future predictions based on what we think might happen.
Because we've been wrong.
Buy the Switch when the games that you want for it are out.
I think launch today. If you like Zelda, buy the Switch. If you don't know what Zelda is, wait till Christmas.
I have no reason. Yeah, I'm getting rid of this thing. I'm not keeping it.
That's sad.
Yeah, I'm not enjoying Zelda at all.
It's not for you.
It's not.
Yeah.
And I enjoy RPGs. I enjoy JRPGs. Out of all things. And Zelda is not my thing.
Maybe you need to make a Japanese account because there's a lot of JRPGs there.
Maybe. Or I can just, get Nier Automata on my PS4.
Yeah, that's true.
Whatever. Okay. Do we have any more articles? Because we're kind of like...
Yeah, we're just speaking about Switch all the time.
Okay.
So although the next article is Switch.
Next two.
You can quickly
Okay, so Pokemon is supposedly coming to the Switch instead of the 3DS, which is going to be great. But their contracts expire May 2018, so early next year. Again, not a reason. It's too far away.
Do you think the Switch would have made more sense as a holiday release?
Yes, and I don't see why they didn't do that.
Because they would have had the time to be X2.
They would have had Pascal for the Tegra. They would have had actual titles to release with instead of just one. I think there was a lot more benefits to waiting. I don't know their financials, obviously, but I think as far as practicality for, end user, Christmas, November, come out Black Friday.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
Look, okay.
Because there doesn't even seem to be that much of a supply issue either.
The reason why I can't tell people to buy this console is the same reason I'm not going to be reviewing Zelda. I'm biased.
Yeah.
I'm heavily, heavily biased right now. Because I've owned every Nintendo console practically.
Yeah.
And that's the
thing. I've owned none.
Yeah. I've played every Zelda game. I've played every Mario game. And I knew no matter how much the Switch the Switch could have been worse. No matter how much the Switch
they didn't fail here.
No, not at all. It's just the comparisons are hard. That's the thing. And the price, if there were no other consoles and it was 5,000 Rand, no one would complain.
Yeah.
And also if you're comparing it to mobile phones, 12,000 Rand. You know what I mean? To a degree.
Yeah, but no, you would compare this to a tablet, and a tablet has Netflix.
But it is
And a
coming
web
in
browser.
October. Yeah.
October.
Yeah.
That's 6 months away.
Yeah. Listen, people are talking in the chat quite a lot. I don't know if you want to.
They're just talking nonsense. They're making comments about 60 FPS and
Yeah, and what? Okay, so what someone said is Project Scorpio is coming out mid-year. That's one of the reasons why Switch probably wanted to push out beforehand as well.
But it doesn't.
I don't know.
It's not even the same reason people buy the Switch.
No.
You're not buying it for any
You're not
reason
gonna
why you would
choose-
buy Scorpio.
You're not going to choose Scorpio or Switch.
I don't know.
You're going to
anybody
choose
who would.
Scorpio or PC.
Yeah.
You're not going to choose PC or Switch. You buy Switch or not Switch.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wii
The
U
thing is,
release
there's no
all over
comparison.
again. This isn't the Wii U release.
No,
this is performing way too successfully to be the Wii U.
This console will not fail. It can just not end up as successful as its competitors.
So it will absolutely have all of Nintendo's first party games. It's going to have Super Mario. It's going to have Mario Kart. It's going to have Splatoon 2, which we're going to get to in a second.
Yeah.
It's going to have all of those fun games. The issue I see is all of the commitments that publishers made as far as bringing their high-end games to this platform, they're going to back out. Like Steep, supposed to come to the Switch. If it's not, if they see that people aren't engaging with it, they're not going to publish.
So Resident Evil is the perfect example of this. The publisher basically stated that the Switch is completely capable of running Resident Evil 7. They have a small team working on it right now. They can port it 100% confirmed. The graphics will look good. They're waiting for numbers of other games before they confirm whether or not they'll release it.
Yes.
And they're going to develop it. They're going to develop it completely because they have the money to be able to do that. But
Yes.
they don't want to launch a game that's going to be a failure in sales.
Yes.
It's
That's
possible.
one of the issues. You can't separate the Switches for success from Zelda.
Yeah.
Because I think it was 70% of all Switch sales were bundled with a Zelda game.
Well, bundled
Not
in terms
bundled,
of
and
purchase.
they purchased
Yeah,
it
yeah.
together. Yes.
Look, I don't
This
know.
doesn't have Netflix. Basically everything has Netflix. Basically everything except for the Switch. Because they want this to be a gaming-first console. Well, guess what, Nintendo? Sony released the PlayStation 4 with Netflix, and nobody is buying that to just watch content. They're buying it for the games.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I love the console. I love it. I really, really enjoy it. I think its issue right now is its price. If this was 2,000 rand, you would have nothing bad to say.
Yes, but if a GTX 1080 was 2,000 rand, I'd have nothing to say it either. Like, yes, it could be a lot cheaper. I don't think it's bad for its price. I think the game library is its biggest flaw.
Yeah.
I can find reason to overlook the IR sensor, the HD rumble, the bad kickstand if I have the games.
So Getsuga's saying Resident Evil 6 months later. What's the point in that? How about 10 years later for Skyrim?
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
way
yeah,
worse.
Skyrim's still coming out. People still play these games, whatever.
89% attach rate on the Switch.
89.
Zelda.
Okay, so it's even higher than I was quoting.
Yeah.
That, like, with Zelda being such a highly rated game and a game beloved by so many gamers, like, you can't just say the Nintendo Switch is successful until, like, 2 months down the line when Super Mario isn't out, but then they haven't also released another first-party title.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on.
Last one. Byron.
Oh wow. Okay, so guys, this is something pushing from me. So I work with Nintendo a little bit, and that's one of the reasons why I say I'm biased and I can't tell you to buy one. But at the same time, I do love it, and I'm not just saying that. Like, I've been streaming it lately. You can even look. Brett added me as a friend today. We could see I have over like 50 hours played on Zelda right now. I'm really into the game. If you guys haven't tried to Switch yet, and you live in South Africa, there's an event you can go to this weekend. The link is over there. We'll post it.
Yeah,
We'll post it in the chat right now. I'll post it on my social media later as well.
I won't.
You can go and try Splatoon 2 as well as some of the Nindies, which is Nintendo indie games. You can try out some of the first-party games like Zelda. There's an event. It's completely free. Sign up right now. You can book up to 2 tickets per person as well, and go try it. I mean, if I can't tell you to buy it, I can at least tell you go try it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Save for yourself, because there are a lot of people that were really, really anti the Switch in the beginning. They went to events and tried the Switch, and then they were just like, oh, this is better than I expected it to be. You know, and that's the thing, because people have this expectation of, oh, underpowered hardware, why should I buy it? That's not the case. Why should you buy a cheap car? Because it just gets from A to B. Why? Like, there's so many random comparisons to have, and I think comparing this device to a PlayStation 4 is stupid. It's not the same thing in any way whatsoever.
No.
For Brett, he wants a PlayStation 4 and a PC. For me, I want this console and a PC. And that's why, go try it.
Fair enough. Cool.
Yeah.
I think that's the last article we have.
Do you want to go through Q&A?
We could. Yeah, Q&A time, guys. So bring out any questions you have. You seem tired.
No, I don't want to hate on it, man.
You don't want to... Okay, Q&A. Post your questions on basically anything that we covered in this show, anything you want to know about our personal lives, which we have the discretion to accept or decline. Anything that you want to know, just post it in the YouTube chat or the Discord, or even on Facebook, because we haven't been monitoring that at all. Whatever, I'm not even going to be able to see it. So just let us know, Q&A, talk a little bit more about the Switch.
It doesn't have to be about the Switch.
No, like, I could like it. Okay. I love this thing. It doesn't have the games. If this had...
Okay, if it had Horizon Zero Dawn and Final Fantasy 15
if it had
at full price and low graphics today,
I would buy it. If
you did buy it, but...
Yeah, okay, I would keep it.
Yes.
If it was if games were at full price and a tenth of the graphical quality as it was on the PS4 Pro, I would buy this.
Yeah.
I trade the ability to go and do stuff somewhere else over the pure performance. Like, I have a gaming laptop, not because I wanted a gaming laptop, because I need to edit my videos in bed. I need to play my games in bed.
Yeah.
I need to spend time with my wife and like just be next to her and be close to her, but also still like enjoy my games. Like,
yeah.
That's how I live my life. I edit my videos.
You need to be selfish now, so...
Yeah, whatever. Like, yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like, the hardware is not an issue right now. It's the game library.
Absolutely.
Which potentially
and I've
could
never
be better.
I've never played Skyrim, so that's not a selling point for me. I've never played Mario or Zelda. So like any of the games that they're pitching, I'm just like, meh. What else you got? Because it's nothing.
So me. If Final Fantasy 15,
yeah,
after the patch where they edit Chapter 13,
yeah,
gets announced for Switch, will that excite you?
Yes.
You'll buy it again. No, you will.
I probably would.
You will.
I probably... Honestly...
And you'll play it again on the Switch in handheld mode, complete from beginning to end.
I could see myself finishing Horizon Zero Dawn and then selling my PS4.
Although, here's the thing. How many hours did it take you to finish Final Fantasy? How many charges is that?
I would get a battery bank in a...
Although to be fair, people also complaining about the 2.5 to 6 hours on this thing is not a concern at all, considering there's power banks, and that's a good playing period of time.
But then also, like, that's as much as like I reasonably should be gaming for.
Like, when I was on my holiday...
Should be.
I would charge the device, I'd play it till the battery was low, and I'd go, I've had a good session.
Yes, I need to go spend time with my family now.
With the real world.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, it's a good reminder, stop for a second. Yeah. Like, just take a break.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
If it was an hour, it'd be a different story. Okay, questions.
Fantix,
Noctua, or Cooler Master coolers?
Coolers.
Yes.
Noctua, as far as I know, but I've never had one because they're not really available here in South Africa.
They used to be. I had an NHD 14 and it was the best at its time, other than
They're still kind of the best in their class. And, like, that's the thing that Linus... at Computex, or is it CES, he was just like, Noctua is not releasing anything because they literally
don't need to.
They're struggling to design something that's better.
Their fans are so amazing.
Yes.
Look, I think in terms of so here's the thing. Noctua, get an NHD 14 or nothing.
They're ugly. They're ugly as all get out.
Yeah. Fantix, there's only like 2 or 3 coolers that make sense, but they're also pretty good. Both
you
and I use them as our main coolers right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Cooler Master, best value proposition from low to high because you can get anything for any value. If you only have 400 Rand to spend, you can buy a good cooler. If you have 2,000 Rand, you can buy a good cooler.
Yes.
Okay.
Virtual
Peanut,
console,
we don't know yet.
What Peanut?
The issue with the 6600K, we never found out with the Battlefield thing.
Yeah.
Format your PC, try again.
Okay.
Show the painted GPU. Do you want to go fetch it?
Yeah, I'll go get it.
Okay, he's gonna...
I'll be right back. Oh, man.
Okay, I'm gonna quickly go through the questions and see if I can find anything and speak behind Brett's back while he's gone. Okay, Switch titles are so far apart. It is an issue right now. Rather buy a NES clone console for 100 rand. Look, NES had like over 2,000 games. The library was insane. Xbox. I'm just trying to read you. Switch firmware needs to wake up. 100% true. There's a lot of things that are still coming, like Netflix, and then also something me and Brett didn't mention. He's back now. Is that the screenshots are like the button here, the dedicated screenshot button, 1,000,000 times better than PlayStation 4. Because PlayStation 4, when you take screenshots, sometimes are like a 1 to 2 second delayed, and you miss it. This is instant, but there's no recording. Like what? At launch, you can't record any gameplay.
But that's probably storage capacity.
But they said it's coming.
Okay.
Noctua is ugly. Yeah, I think everyone agrees, but it's not about aesthetics. It's about performance.
The core length performance, yeah. Okay. So here's the painted GPU. There's the front. There's the back. I missed this part here, which I recognized after I finished. But I think overall, like from a distance, it looks good.
And people that are asking about the color scheme.
Oh, what? Oh, yeah, it's not the right orange, but
still,
it's close enough. There you
go. Water cooling tutorial in the future, but you don't really do closed. You don't do closed loops.
I don't do closed loops, and I also don't do tutorials really.
No. Although you did mention you want to do a closed loop system this year, you could always live stream that.
No.
It takes too long.
I don't like to show me failing on camera. I like to.
Do you guys want to see him fail on camera in a live stream doing a closed loop system?
I vote
Answer
no. I don't even care. I don't even care what they say because I'm gonna vote no.
Whatever. What paint did you use?
It was Rust-Oleum's Flexi Dip. So it's basically a rubber paint that can peel off and that's not a permanent paint job. I can peel it off whenever I want. So then I can resell it afterwards.
And it's not a concern for the heat.
So for the heat pipes here, let me show that a bit closer. So this one.
The guy's asking about Peanut's PC. It was a few episodes ago. We don't have it on us.
Okay, the heat sinks on the inside and the actual bottom of the heat pipe down here. I didn't paint those. I just painted the top of the heat pipes. And basically from all of the research that I did prior to painting the heat pipes, because I was like, I don't want my GPU to burn. Basically, it's a heat insulator for sure, but
not bad.
A few degrees maybe. But then I also replaced the stock thermal compound with thermal grizzly. So I'm offsetting the heat insulation with a higher quality thermal grease.
And this system is being painted for Brett's personal rig to use for personal use, which means it's not going to be 100 GPU utilization system, because this isn't for benchmarking. This is for Brett to play LOL and whatever other games he plays. So the games that are on my to play list on PC: Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, Deus Ex: Mankind Divided. There's a few more. Oh man. Well, those are GPU intensive.
No, those are GPU intensive.
And I need a 4K screen now, so
I do.
You need 1080 Ti, man.
No, you don't. I don't need
Witcher?
a 1080 Ti.
Witcher.
No, I'm playing Witcher on PlayStation now.
Okay.
Because the complete edition was like $20, and then I got the DLC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to just get his PC then? Oh, there it is.
No, it's fine.
We showed it in the previous episode, so it's no problem.
What am I doing? Where is this? Oh my gosh. There it is. Okay. Yes, that is the Zoom H1. Yeah. Yes.
It's useful.
Where's your attempt at Windows 8 7 Vista on Ryzen? I've been out of town, so I wanted to get that video done, but actually so even since I've done those videos, Microsoft has now patched it so that they will tell you, KB Lake, you're running an unsupported processor.
And
that didn't happen when I did it, but now it exists. And Ryzen, you're running an unsupported processor. You do not get updates.
Yeah. They made a press release to say that it does. There's a difference between support and compatibility, and I think this is the thing people don't understand. Having a Ryzen processor, you can install Windows 7. It's not a compatibility issue; it's a support issue. You're not going to have any drivers ever. Once you've installed it, no drivers, no updates whatsoever.
Yeah. Why did I paint the GPU in the first place? Because I just wanted it to look nice. Like it's a standard black GPU, which was fine. I just wanted something more like me, I guess. Like especially with the Trident Z RGB RAM. Hold on. Especially with the Trident Z RGB RAM, like color coordination, it's gonna look really nice. And once I get my X370, then I can figure everything
And
else
a
out.
closed looped water cooling
Oh my gosh,
system.
get over that. Does fewer cores mean higher IPC, or is IPC unrelated to the number of cores the CPU has? IPC is instruction per clock cycle.
Yeah.
So it has nothing to do with the core count at all, because it's how much instructions can that one core do on each clock cycle.
Yeah. So basically a 1 gigahertz such and such processor versus a 1 gigahertz other processor. ARM's a good example. A 1 gigahertz ARM processor versus a 1 gigahertz like x86 processor. x86 processor has a higher IPC. It does more in that 1 gigahertz.
Yes.
Because that's what people don't always understand. They're like, I've got a 2500K running at 5 gigahertz. Yeah, it's trash. It's old.
Yes.
Like,
the IPC is actually worse than a 6700K at 4.5 gig. Like the overall performance is worse, but then the instructions per clock that you're getting through the 2500K is worse.
Yeah.
Mass Effect Andromeda, I know nothing about it.
I've
never played a Mass Effect. I have not played most of the games that are like everybody's just like, this is the staple.
This is where you guys need to bring the hate now.
This is the staple of gaming. Oh, Half-Life? No, never played it.
No.
Mass Effect? Never played it. Dead Space? Never played it. Zelda? Never played it. Mario? Never played it. What else? What else? Give me another.
The feels.
Give me another major series, and I will tell you I have not played it, and I will not be lying.
Quake.
Never. Not
Unreal.
once. I have played Unreal. At Lance.
Not Unreal Tournament. Unreal.
Oh no. I've only played Unreal Tournament. 2000, I think. At a LAN.
I want to kill you. Nothing. Okay. Anyway, Mass Effect Andromeda. I'm not buying the game until next year. The reason I say that is Mass Effect 1, I bought an Xbox 360 to play it because that was the only way to play it at launch. Mass Effect 2, I bought on launch. Mass Effect 3, I bought on launch. Mass Effect 3, hated the ending at launch because the problem with it is that like they wanted to kill off the series and the way they ended it was terrible. Like no matter like because the thing about Mass Effect, right, is whenever there's conversations, there's this like dial and you can choose how you want to talk to the guy, and whatever you say, and whatever you say ends up like changing the story.
The Witcher,
right? Yeah. But no matter what happened throughout the entire series of games, like After Hours, what happens at the end is the same.
Okay.
And it was just like, are you joking? I had to choose a race dying over another one. A species. Like, it cannot exist anymore. I had to choose that, but no matter what, you die anyway. And it's like, thank you, that sucks. So, Andromeda, though, is like the B team. It's literally this team of, like, rejects in terms of the company, the people that just still have a job, but they don't really want them working on anything else, and they made Andromeda. And that's the problem with it right now, is that it's like, I want that game to be enjoyable, and I know it will not be at launch.
Okay.
I guarantee Mass Effect Andromeda will not be good at launch. There will be DLC. I 100% know this, okay?
It's EA, right?
It's EA.
Yeah,
it's going to have DLC.
DLC.
Patches are going to come in because there's going to be issues. Mass Effect will be good long term because every one of them has been 6 months later. And that's my take on it. I played every Mass Effect on launch, but this is the one that I'm not going to. And I think it launched today.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not going to play it.
Yeah.
Unless someone gives it to me for free, fine, then I'll do a review, but the review is going to be like 6 out of 10, I know it.
Yeah. Crysis, never played Crysis. I have benchmarked Crysis 3, though. Like, I can... Like, I know how to run a benchmark in Crysis 3, but played the story? No. Epic Mickey? No. No Half-Life. No Dead Space.
Not even Mario, like the first Mario Brothers.
No. I've seen it played on everything. I'm familiar with it. I've never actually touched it. I've played Pac-Man.
I just don't even know what to say. Like, never even played the first Mario.
I've never had a Nintendo console. My parents bought me a PlayStation 1.
I had a PlayStation 1.
Yeah, but they didn't buy me an SNES or a Nintendo 64. They were like, you have a PlayStation. I'm not bitter about it. I have none of these. I have none of these feelings that you have.
This is like, so the thing that I always, like, my girlfriend and I discussed a few times, because like gaming's a massive part of my life, and like
Not really.
and Call of Duty.
Never.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Not once.
Gaming.
Okay,
Is,
I have played Minecraft, but maybe an hour.
I want to punch you right now. I said to my girlfriend, like, she was like, if we have kids one day, are they going to play games? And I'm like, duh. Like,
Yeah.
without a doubt, right? And then I said to her, I was like, if I get a kid one day, like, I want to give them a NES.
Go on.
I'll buy them a NES, probably like the NES Classic Mini or whatever,
Yeah.
and I want them to play with that first, and then I'll buy them an SNES, and like, I'll like let them appreciate where graphics have gone, not just be like, yes, Crisis 7. And it's like, oh my gosh, the fact that you have not played any of these games, it's just like your kids have started on a PS4 Pro. Inside, I'm like, no, like, then like, oh, they'll never appreciate indie games. Your kids will never appreciate indie games.
No, that's not true.
I'm sure of it.
No, because you don't play indie games for the graphics. You play them for the storyline.
Because
and are my
you played
kids...
games without good graphics beginning.
No. Because I can appreciate an indie game. Can I not?
But you play LOL. The graphics are bad there.
So? Exactly.
That's what I'm getting at. Their benchmark is like high end.
I have played Crash Bandicoot. I have played Spyro.
Okay.
Those count.
That's fine. Those do count massively.
Those do count.
Grand Theft Auto, you played 5.
I've benchmarked 5.
But okay, yeah. But that who you are, it's not a game you'd play.
I would no. Yeah. I have no need to. No, okay. I think I've played the first Grand Theft Auto, where it's like top down and you're driving the car.
1 and 2. So a lot of people have disagreed with me in this like multiple times. Grand Theft Auto 1 and 2 for me was always like my favorites, because there wasn't like Grand Theft Auto 3 had the like uncanny valley where it was like these characters trying to be real but they're not really real kind of thing.
Okay.
And it's just like the point of the game became this like mindless murder trying to pretend these characters are real, and I didn't like that. Grand Theft Auto 2 was like just, it was mindless murder or whatever, but it never tried to be real. That's the thing. Grand Theft Auto was trying to be real after 3, and I just didn't like that. Like, I'm not into games about crime and murder and drugs and prostitutes and terrible things, and that's what Grand Theft Auto has become.
Fair enough. I'm sure there's people who could write a dissertation on why you're wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
Command & Conquer,
Wait.
No, I have. I have. Red Alert 3, I think it was.
Please tell me you've played Age of Empires.
Yeah, a little bit.
1?
No. 2. A little bit of Age of Empires 2.
Oh my gosh. You've never played the first Age of Empires?
No. I've played
Warcraft?
No. I've never even done a trial of WoW. Because I don't need that type of addiction in my life. I've played StarCraft. Okay. Not 2. I own 2.
I need to go to your kitchen. I need some salt.
I own StarCraft 2. I've never played it, which is sad. I've never played Battlefield. I've touched it. I've touched your Battlefield 1, but not actually played.
I've played all the Battlefields, all the StarCrafts, all the Age of Empires, all the Mass Effects, all the Half-Lives, all the Marios. Like, for me, I don't play a game that's a 2 unless I've played the 1. I don't just, this Witcher 3, that sounds cool, why not play it? I played Witcher 1, Witcher 2, Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Like, Dragon Age 1, 2, Inquisition, that kind of thing. Like, every game, I make sure I've played the series of them, because it's like, and that's the reason as well, that at the same time, it's hard to judge Zelda based off of only the Zelda when it's like the 50-second version.
But it's like a standalone, though.
Yeah. When a game's a standalone, yes, but a lot of the games have... Shadow Warrior is not a game you'll ever play.
I've never even heard of it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Cheers, 1v1 Pugs. Thanks for joining.
Ninja Gaiden. Doom 3.
I played the original Doom.
Fine. Wolfenstein.
Nope. What? Isn't it basically Doom?
No.
How is it like I've seen it? Like
Doom is hell opened demons. Wolfenstein is Nazis.
but it's the same gameplay.
It's
You're running around corners.
That's saying that The Witcher is Zelda.
I mean, a little bit, yeah. No, because they looked the same. They were the same graphics, weren't they? Dragon Age.
Then I can argue every game we play today is the same game because every game that you have ever touched is based off the Quake 1 engine.
Fair enough.
Because all of them, Quake 1 created BSP maps, and every game, I may even be wrong with this, I think like Doom even had BSP. Like the type of maps, the way that the structures of it works has been used to date. Like forever.
I don't know. I don't
like
know.
I hate you right now. I can't believe Final Fantasy you played a lot.
I played 8 was my first, then 7, then 9. I never finished 9, which I still regret, but I have it on PC to someday. If Square Enix releases all of the Final Fantasies,
The 30-year celebration.
sold.
10 times over.
All of them. Done. I've played 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 10, 2. Okay. I've beaten...
You haven't played 11 and 13? Neither of it. No, 11 and 14.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I haven't beaten 9, and I haven't beaten 13. And then I've started on 6 and 3.
Yeah. I played the same ones you're talking about. 15 as well, both of us. I played 1, 2, and 3 as remasters.
Yeah.
Because I never owned them like before I was born.
And that's the only way you can get them right now, basically.
Yeah. Duke Nukem?
Nope. Dangerous Dave. Never heard of that.
What? No, dude. Dangerous Dave was like the coolest DOS game ever. It's like the start of platforming. Commander Keen.
What?
He doesn't know what Commander Keen is. Oh my god.
Tom Clancy games. Nope.
Splinter Cell?
No. I have Rainbow Six Siege. I think I've opened it once. I'm gonna get Wildlands for the benchmark.
You've never heard of Commander Keen?
No.
Or Dangerous Dave?
No. Dangerous Dave sounds familiar. Final Fantasy 12, yes, and I'm excited for the remaster. Tell us what... I don't even remember all of the games. Are you for real? I've never played all of these classics. I'm not even joking.
Played every single one of the games mentioned. Wii Sports.
I've touched Wii Sports, yeah.
Unfortunately, everyone
I've touched
has.
Wii Sports.
Snake on Nokia, the ultimate question.
I've never had a Nokia.
Oh my gosh. Okay, then the question is Snake 102 on the 3310 or the 3210?
I had some like knockoff Nokia, and then I upgraded to a Palm Pixie.
Contra?
No. I didn't own the console.
So you never played Tiny Toon Adventures, Rescue Rangers,
No.
DuckTales?
No. And I see everybody hyping about the fact that it's getting remastered, and I'm just like, I don't even know what this is.
NBA.
Prince of Persia 1? No, I did play... There was a Prince of Persia I played on PlayStation 2. I really liked. I think that was it.
Yeah,
it was really good.
That was very good.
It was nice. Sports games, I've played... I've never played a Madden game, but I played it when it was 989 Sports. No, I've never played Leisure Suite Larry. I know what it is. I know what it is. Red Ball.
Getsuga saying you should build a PC to play Dangerous Dave. You should build a 6950X to play Dangerous Dave.
Because it's a DOS game.
Probably won't even
work. I have played Kingdom Hearts.
You play Kingdom Hearts.
Yes. No, I've played most of the like Final Fantasy stuff.
So you don't know Bounce or Space Invaders or any of those Nokia games?
I know of those games. I've never touched them.
FIFA?
Not once.
Ever.
I've never even somebody play it in the same vicinity as me.
So you've never seen it in person?
I've seen it on TV and what. So like I know what the game looks like and how people play it.
I guarantee when FIFA 18 comes out on Switch, which it is, it's confirmed.
Okay, that's cool.
Sales are going to go up massively as well.
That's cool.
All the EA sports games. Sonic the Hedgehog?
My son's playing it right now, so I've touched it.
Where?
On his tablet.
Okay.
Because Amazon has it in their game store.
But probably like episode 4 or whatever, right? Not the original Sonic the Hedgehog.
No, it's like Sonic 2, I think.
Okay, that's still fine. Golden Axe?
Never heard of it.
Oh my gosh, Golden Axe was amazing, man.
I haven't
Zone
heard.
66.
Golden.
Hugo's House of Horrors.
Nope.
Police Quest.
Somebody asked, where in South Africa are you from? America. You're from KZN.
Yeah, I was born in Mpangeni, raised in Richards Bay, moved to Pretoria.
Shin Megami Tensei. No, those are JRPGs, are they not?
I'm not. That's the first game I'm not actually familiar with.
No, I've heard of those. I actually think I've wanted to check those out. Post-apocalyptic RPG. I think they have more than that though.
I'm not sure.
Because that's the original.
I'm stumped. Finally, one game.
You've never heard of Shin Megami Tensei? Even though I'm pronouncing it completely incorrectly. So this is the original.
You've never heard of Life. Well, then again, actually, that's bad of me to say because you probably had a life growing up, not just playing games.
No, I didn't. I actually didn't. So no.
Well, the game got 5 out of 10, so.
But they're like, where are the sequels here?
I don't know.
Megami Tensei series. Here we go.
It's coming to Switch.
Whatever. Doesn't matter.
I'm not sure.
Like I've heard of these. Outrun. What's Outrun?
That sounds familiar. Outrun.
Minesweeper. Yes.
Was Outrun? Hold on. Wasn't that a third person? Give me a second. No. I'm thinking Outlast. Never mind.
No, I've never played that.
Outrun. Yeah, that's too old school for me probably. Theme Hospital. Man,
I
that was
haven't.
amazing.
I haven't played Persona. I'm interested because of Persona 5.
Yeah.
And I want to play Persona. But is Persona 4 on PS4?
I think it's PS3.
Which means I can't even get into it. So
Rayman?
No.
You never played... You had a PlayStation. That was like the game.
No, I never.
Abe's Odyssey?
I had it.
You never played it.
Correct.
You had Abe's Odyssey on PlayStation 1. You never played it.
Correct.
I don't even know what to say.
Never done Duck Hunter.
Theme Hospital?
I haven't even heard of it.
What? It was like the coolest game ever. And I'm trying to think. Roller Coaster Tycoon?
Okay, I've done that.
Same, but you build a hospital. And
Oh,
people
that
come in
sounds
that are
lame.
sick and they have like massive heads and like zombie mode and weird stuff.
That sounds lame.
Dude, it was so good. Okay. I think for half an hour now, all we've been rambling on, Another World. Hold on, Another World.
Never heard of it.
Oh my gosh. It's like, such a good game. You would like it. You'd like it. And it's probably going to come to Switch. It's been remastered like 50 times over on every console. It's like one of the first games ever that was super low graphics, like
Okay.
probably like 640 by 480 and still looks good today just because the art style was so brilliant.
Okay.
Need for Speed Underground.
No. Carbon. I've only played Carbon and the most recent one.
So you never like customized your car like a pimp and then went like to the window, to the wall.
No. Oh my goodness, man.
Earthworm Jim.
Nope.
Guys, I feel so sad inside right now. Gran Turismo, you've played at least.
Yes. Okay, Gran Turismo, yes.
And Black and White?
1, 3... Yes, I've played Black and White, not the second one. I've played 1, 3, 4... Yeah, I'm going to
You
get
never played
Sport.
2?
No. Because
Mine's missing. I still told you.
I had 1, and then 2 just kind of seemed like a rebadge, and then
No,
3 when it came out for PS2.
Yeah. I have Gran Turismo 2 lying around somewhere. I found the chassis for it. Ski! Ski was amazing!
What's Ski?
Ski was that like old school game that came in Windows 3.1 for work groups, where basically you were just this guy going down.
With the Yeti, right?
Yes, the Yeti runs across.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
Okay, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
That was good.
Nope. Monkey Island, never heard of it. Never touched Forza.
I've never heard of Monkey Island.
Never heard of Monkey Island.
Guys, I'm done.
The only Tomb Raider I've played. Monkey Island.
Oh my gosh! You've never heard of Monkey Island?
Not once.
That's like the biggest like ever freaking like click adventure. It was so good.
Nope. Doesn't even look familiar.
Guybrush Threepwood or whatever, man. Like
SSX, yes. SSX Tricky.
It's tricky. It's tricky.
That was so fun. Okay,
the Spider-Man games on PlayStation 1 were amazing.
I never played on the ones on PlayStation 1. Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation 2 was my jam. That was like the first open world game that I really like.
The first one was like that too.
I
Even on
never had it.
PlayStation 1. It was
Like
so
I had
good.
a random mix match of like different games that my parents would get me.
Okay, wait. Did you play the first Far Cry? Someone's asking that.
No.
So you didn't play games prior to 2004 then? Like PC games, that kind of thing.
Correct. I didn't get my first PC game until gaming computer until 2007.
So my matric year, which by then I'd been playing for like 18 years.
Yeah, I
That's
had
insane.
I had computers growing up all of my life. I just like
Not yours.
not gaming computers, not like just I had consoles at that point.
Well, like Far Cry in 2004, maybe 2005, was the first 64-bit game I ever played. And I still remember I was one of the only people I knew that had 64-bit Windows XP because that was the only way to play Far Cry 64-bit.
Okay.
And then it had higher draw distance and better textures. And that was just like amazing.
Brett the Unenlightened.
Lemmings?
Never heard of it.
What? Medieval?
Never heard of it.
You never play, so you probably heard of it. Medieval was a PlayStation 1 game where you played as this guy that had like a skull and he used his arm and stuff to like beat up the guys. It was so good.
Nope. Soul Calibur. My friend got Soul Calibur 4 for the PlayStation 3 and I played a couple rounds.
You probably don't know about Fantasy Star Online, that kind of thing too then, yeah.
No. No, not Winnie the Pooh Point and Click Adventure.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skating, that kind of thing.
Underground 2, I think.
That was
Wasn't it?
way later. Did you still play like Dirt when it was still Colin McRae Rally kind of thing?
No.
So you never played any Colin McRae rallies?
Never even heard of that.
So before Colin McRae died, like he was...
Sure.
No, he was like a legit rally racer.
Okay.
The games, like Dirt games, were called Colin McRae Rally.
Okay.
And then that was like, I think it was Dirt 2 might have still been when he was alive, and then Dirt 3 was by itself.
Okay.
Which was sad, because like those games were amazing.
Cool Borders, I've heard of that. Mortal Kombat 1, nope. Good thing Brett makes interesting videos because his gaming pedigree is non-existent.
So guys, how do you think Brett's UF Disciple gaming channel would turn out if he had to ever get asked questions on the past?
I've played Worms. Worms Armageddon.
That was a good one. Worms, the first Worms were practically the same, but like not as advanced. Worms Armageddon was the first time that it was like good graphics, if you want to call it that. If you understand what I mean.
Sure.
No, like it still looks good today because the sprite quality was very good.
Okay.
Like Worms before that looked bad. Yeah, Colin McRae were great games. Test Drive. Oh my gosh, I had Test Drive on PlayStation, the first PlayStation. Yoshi's Story was amazing.
Never. Hello Kitty Online. Nope.
Okay, no, neither of us probably would have played that.
Um,
The first Resident Evil.
no. No Resident Evils.
You played 7 with me.
Okay, 7.
We
Yes.
finished it.
Yes. No, we didn't.
Okay,
GoldenEye. No. Driver. No. No James Bond games.
Driver. You didn't have Driver 1 and 2 on PlayStation 1.
No.
What games did you have other than Crash Bandicoot?
I had Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, Gran Turismo.
Okay, then again, Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9 is like your childhood in terms of hours.
What other games?
Wait, did you play the first Fallout?
No. I own it.
Not anymore. It's at my house.
No,
The box. Oh, did you redeem the code?
Yeah, I redeemed the code.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna get it for me? Huh?
No,
You're gonna
I'm
steal
just-
it off the box? Eh?
I have the game. I finished it.
Mega Man? Nope. Medal of Honor? No.
Crazy. Well, I'm trying to think what this other game was called. Where there was this like red character that you'd play as. He had like this power armor. It was like isometric view. Crusader.
No.
No Remorse and No Regret.
No.
They were on PlayStation and on PC.
So the only Tomb Raider game I've ever played was a demo disc that we had where it was like one level.
I had Tomb Raider 1 and 2 on my first PlayStation. And yeah, Police Quest, King's Quest, those kind of games way before your time. They were text-based.
Okay.
You never clicked anything, you type what the character had to
I've
do
never
and move
played.
around, that kind of thing.
I played Neopets.
Oh my gosh.
I have not played Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate was amazing! And
I've heard really good things.
Baldur's Gate 2 and Icewind Dale, I finished co-op. So good.
Okay.
So good. World of Goo?
Yes.
Okay, because I was going to say you can get it on here.
Fantastic.
Planescape Torment was good.
Nope.
Similar, well, not
Never
similar
heard of it.
gameplay, but similar aesthetics to like Baldur's Gate 2.
Civilization. I've played 5 with my friend.
Populous?
Populous what?
Populous. It's like what Civilization was like, but it was like before its time.
Nope.
Taxi.
No.
Crazy Taxi, I mean.
No. Simpsons Hit and Run. That was fun.
PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
That was pretty legit. Yeah, I miss demo discs too.
No Legend of Dragoon. No Club Penguin or Roblox.
You know what Club Penguin is?
It's the Disney game that got shut down, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's where PewDiePie is now.
Yeah. No, I've never touched that.
Okay, we're going. Brett, it's practically midnight.
Yeah, basically it's no.
Brett never played
No,
games.
that's my knee. You can see my leg. There's
Brett never played games before 2007.
Yeah.
Other than 5 PlayStation 1 games. By then I had played like 18 years worth of games.
Should I just stream doing all of these games? No Frogger, no Donkey Kong.
Blood.
Nope.
It was a first-person shooter. Then there was Hexen.
Nope.
This makes me sad. I've actually, what's coming out of this is I've probably played too many games.
That's how we need to evaluate
every single one of the games that people are mentioning now, I have played and 90% of them I've finished.
I think that's like Byron, you need help. I don't need to play
more
more
games. Did you play Spore? Because that was 2007.
I touched it. It wasn't mine. I played it at somebody else's house.
It was bad. It was so bad.
I played Sims.
You didn't. Everyone played the Sims.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for joining us for B-roll. I've streamed 2.5 gigabytes. No. Oh, wow. 7 gigabytes total for this stream. Thank you guys for joining us. We will see you next week. I don't think we have any obstacles as to why we can't stream next week. See you guys then. Byron, do you want to say anything before we go?
Guys, okay. I think challenge for the audience. Okay. Please do me a favor, at UFDisciple, at Byron Trent, come up with a game by next week B-roll, and then we'll do a poll. What is the one game before 2007, not on PlayStation 1, can be played on a PC at least, that Brett needs to play? What game is he missing in his life? So basically like Half-Life 1, Half-Life 2, whatever, that kind of thing. Tribes Vengeance.
Jak and Daxter.
Like, what game, non-console,
Love
before
that.
2007, should Brett play because his life needs it? And then we'll get him to live stream it.
Jak and Daxter was amazing.
So guys, please, at UFDisciple, at Byron Trent on Twitter, come up with games for Brett to play and we'll vote on it.
Yeah.
Until next time, guys. Cheers and thanks for watching.